you, Alan?
Bodily fluids and whatever the fuck.
Those are normal conversations. I actually like those conversations, Alan. So why don't you shut your face?
I hate this show.
Yeah, you know what? The show hates you. How's that? Show hates
I mean,
stupid
you
fucking
make that
bird.
evidently clear every time we fucking start. They chat shit on Alan's opinions for the
No, I
next 2
don't.
hours.
But see, look at you just started. You just said you hate the show right away. I didn't do anything yet,
fuck
and
the
now when I
chat.
fuck with you for the next hour, it's your fault because you threw the first punch. You keep throwing the
Oh,
first
it
punch.
doesn't matter. No matter. I swear to God, can somebody clip the starting of every fucking episode when he says that?
No, this is what
He
this is the thing you do.
always says that.
This is what you do, Alan. You hurt my feelings.
No, I'm
every
just
fucking
mad.
time.
Well, now that you're mad for a reasonable reason, I'm gonna shit on
What's
you for the next
reasonable?
2.5 hours.
What's reasonable? Nothing happened.
You set me up for bullshit every time we start.
No, honestly, like people, I'm gonna let you guys know. This is me being serious.
Fuck you, Mauricio. For no reason entirely. You're just the first one here.
No, I feel like, you know, like I try to bring a lively, happy environment to these shows.
You're a goddamn liar.
And the thing is like every time I started,
Fuck you too,
he's
Ryan.
always being
I'm
mean
fucking
to me.
everyone tonight.
You're
Everyone's
fucking
getting
everyone tonight?
He wants to fuck everybody tonight, which is unfortunate. Ron, how you doing, man? Raheem, WrestleMania, dude, yes sir, that is cool. We'll talk about that with the Ringside Hangout coming out soon. But the thing is though, is I'm just sitting here and I'm like, yo, Alan, hey, I hope you had a good day, dude. Like I'm like saying, you guys didn't hear this, but I was like saying lots of nice stuff before the show started. And then he was like, I fucking hate Mexicans. And I was like, calm down. Don't say that.
Fuck you. You're such a liar.
And he's like, and walking around with body fluids. Like, he was going on a whole rant. And then he saw the show starting. And then he said he hates the show because there's I mean, let's be honest. Like, me and Roxy were like the biggest ratio of Hispanics here. And he hates the show because of that. And you know, Alan will apologize one day for that. But today will not be that day. And,
One day he'll apologize for his racism.
And Nick will apologize to the entirety of the Ringside Hangout.
I won't. I think that show is terrible. I was going to say good. I was like, I can't.
Continue. Finish that sentence.
No, here's the thing, guys. Ringside Hangout. I know I'm making fun of it right now. I know I'm talking shit. The thing is, though, is the last one I did actually was fun. I liked Rojo and Hovig. Oh, by the way, dude, Hovig came back.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, but I told him the story.
Did he bring out his phone and blind the audience?
Yeah,
did he actually?
No, he didn't. But the thing is, I told him the story. Oh, Alan, you're gonna love this.
What's
you're
that?
gonna love this.
Oh, this is gonna be good. You're giddy as fuck.
This is so perfect. So you know when you called him, he said, "Oh well, he got
COVID back. Yeah.
Dude, he got COVID."
Oh,
What? Why would you joke about that?
Alan.
Why is he laughing?
Alan, you gave a man COVID.
No.
Oh,
he
no,
got a
no, we cannot joke about
He
that.
had-
Damn, dog.
No, he got COVID a long time ago. He's good now. Everything's cool.
That's
Man.
good. I'm
I
glad.
don't wish any other cancer, like AIDS, don't do that shit.
Oh
Your
my
voice
God,
has
right?
power, dog.
But the thing is, I didn't know this because I'm a bad friend. I should have known this, by the way. But the thing is, he comes on the show and I tell him like, "Oh shit, is Hovig 19?" And he's like, "Damn, that's fucked up." And I'm like, "What?" You know, and I thought he was just being like overly sensitive. And I told him what you said, Alan.
Nick,
He's like,
this is the worst story you ever told on the show.
oh no, it's not. It's the worst thing you ever said about somebody.
You're right.
No, this ain't the
just
worst
saying.
thing I've done on the show. I made fun of a handicap.
We ain't topping this one. Holy shit.
Oh, man. But no, dude. Trust me, Alan, that's not. Fuck you, man.
I'm not. Hey, man, that guy got sick. I ain't. Man.
No, but Hovig's cool. Well, here's the thing: is that he literally, Hovig. If you're watching, I'm gonna make fun of you a little bit right now because one thing that's questionable, because Rojo's in there too. Me and Rojo are like, what the fuck? But we're asking like, hey man, like we're like being like really nice, like, oh, that sucks you had COVID or whatever. It sucks you had Hovig.
He's just inventing shit now. Was he extremely racist for like a month?
No, but we're just like, hey man, sorry that all this shit's going on with you, dude. Hopefully you're good. He's like, oh no, COVID ain't shit, bro. That's nothing. People over exaggerate that.
Oh my God.
This is a man who had COVID, y'all, and he's just like, man, that ain't shit. Got rid of in 2 weeks. Who gives a fuck?
I don't know. There's 2.5 million people that could argue with you if they're alive.
Yeah, it's just
It's
kind
like
of
free.
Yeah, so when that happens,
Is it at 3 million now?
fucking me and Roger were like, yeah, so wrestling. Hovig, you are fucking quite the character. I'm glad you're okay and everything,
Why you talk to that dude?
He's the only two people he could find to be on a wrestling show.
Sounds like a piece of shit.
I mean, shit, though. Cherry wasn't around, I guess.
No, like I said, I think Hovig, he's a really fun person to talk to and everything. Like, I actually think the guy's like really entertaining. But man, dude, like I will give him this. He don't give a fuck about what the important thing is to say, like, politically wise. He's just like,
I
you don't
fucking
give a
guess
fuck.
not.
And I appreciate that. There's a thing where I think some people, some of you guys are in the chat right now. I'm sorry, chat, but some of y'all in here, some of y'all come to the after hours too. I think some of you guys like read the room first and then say the most popular thing or the most like, oh, what's a good thing he said that. Even when it comes down to movies, Hopefully is one dude who's like, he believes in his shit, whether he's wrong or whatever. He really means everything he says. Like,
no bullshit.
Yeah,
that doesn't sound like a good thing.
Sometimes it's not, but
It's actually actively horrible, but I guess it's honest.
It's not, dude. Honesty is like one of my favorite things. I just like that trumps whatever.
Remember,
the fuck.
you can be a racist as long as you're honest about it.
Hey, legit, I'm against that point too. I hate these like fake liberals that are like, oh, I don't see no color, but like hides their purse every time like someone browner than them walks by. Fuck that shit.
Yeah, like I'll be honest with you.
Someone to call me like the all type of different words. I was gonna say the S word, but like everyone's gonna be like, shit, we already call you that.
I'll tell you this much.
Talking about slur.
If fucking Ron's like, screw you, Nick runs away crying. I'm sorry. I'm actually don't mean you, by the way. But the thing is though, is like I'll even say this, like, granted, I am so for Biden versus Trump. I fucking hate Trump, and I'm saying this because of the shit that can affect us, like, in a life or death kind of way. But if there were like two friends I hang out with, I don't like that. I know Joe Biden's hiding racism versus Trump literally just being straight up like, I don't like Mexicans. So it's like, it's one of those things.
But there's one that's more likely to act on it than the other one, and that's the dangerous part.
I guess. I don't.
It's like Biden is like, he might secretly be racist, but he's not gonna go out of his way to do anything about it. He'll sneakily let it in.
But that could work. Like, if it comes up, I'll do the racist thing. Fuck it, why not?
Oh, true, but Trump will go out of his way to be racist. Like, he'll go out of his way to make racist policies.
But you can plan around that. Like, for me, I really.
Can you?
Well, I mean, I mean, I had to like be careful the way I say it in these fucking times when we're streaming. Like, I don't mean that like in reality. I mean like if we were friends with them. You know what I mean? Like, you can plan around someone's shitty personality. If he's a president of the United States, though, we're fucked. So he needs to literally leave office. Like, can we please hurry up the fucking Joe Biden thing? Like, please hurry up and get into office and get rid of this.
Shit, it's sort of speeding time up. Like, we have 4 days.
It's not enough. It needs to happen tomorrow.
I know. They're still trying. They impeach the motherfucker, and they're trying to like what? Trying to like vote to see whether or not it's okay to impeach him.
Oh,
they're trying their best.
They're dragging their heels. They got closer than last time.
Yeah.
But
just took treason.
But I guess I shouldn't have even brought them up. But it's like I'll bring it up in the sense of like just people. Like
I'll bring up something.
What's up?
Here we go.
Where's the rest of my fucking money? Where's that other 600, bitch?
You got it already.
Where's my money?
Split it out between 1,600.
No, that's not what the fuck they said. They did not say 1,400. Then the first part's of 600. They didn't say that shit. Where's my money?
They applied it. They're like, we'll give you 2,000 total. Like at the end of it all.
Nah, that's some questionable shit, man.
Oh, of course it is. But like, I was like, oh, I'm actually more surprised they give you the rest of it. Honestly,
I'm surprised they gave it to you.
Like, I'm surprised in general.
I will say though, looking at this whole story, I mean, since we're already on the topic and everything, yeah, their stimulus checks going from 2,000 to 1,400. That's still pretty nice. I wasn't expecting this. Were you guys expecting some kind of stimulus check?
I thought nothing was gonna happen, to be honest with you, at this rate.
That's where I was too. So I'm glad that's something. Even if it was another 600, I'm like, cool. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Yeah. So I will say, you know what's funny is like the way he's doing this, and there's like, I can't go through all the stats, people, but like there's like another like the 300 has been increased to 400 for unemployment weekly benefits, which, by the way, once it happens, someone's getting paid more than me and they're not working, so I'm a little jealous. But
that's because the capitalistic overlords want you to feel jealous for something like that, even though that's them just trying to also live their own lives too. That you're actually being underpaid by your employer, but they don't want you to think that way.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know what the fuck's going on. But the thing is, though, is like when it comes to all this stuff, it's like, I gotta tell you, within a couple of months, Joe Biden's already going to be better than the last president who had 4 years or whatever.
That's a low bar to beat.
Well, I mean, they can technically do more since the Democrats have the House and Senate, but I mean, are they actually going to hold on to the promises that they made? Probably not.
Hell no.
No, I think they will, because this whole 1.9 trillion thing, the economy was going to lose a lot more than that. So it's like, now that they actually had data to
the first test was the 2,000. They already failed.
Yeah, but they failed in the sense of they just didn't reach, as opposed to they just ignored. So it's one of those things where they're going to undo a lot of the problems that Trump caused, and once the problems are done, that's it. It's just going to be what it was when Obama was was president. It's just going to be status quo shit.
Yeah.
What?
You lied to me. Yes, he
Yes,
did.
they did.
Yes, he
We
did.
didn't lie to you. We just did 80% of what you wanted.
Man,
But you got from the Senate and the House, y'all. Congratulations. You did something for them and got nothing in return. I think that's
Woohoo!
good.
Ignore
they'll
the
get
politics now for 10 years until we get another Trump in office.
That's
And then we just go right back.
Honestly, to get on Diaz's side on this one, it is a little too early still to be like, oh, we're not even going to do shit. The man's not even fucking inaugurated yet.
Yeah.
You can't even sign shit yet.
Exactly. And
I mean, I
that's the
kind of
thing,
get
too,
it. To
'cause-
be real, it took like what 2 hours for us to realize he was bad. Literally, the first thing he did was a Muslim ban that resulted in the death of Americans.
Oh yeah, I mean, like all I'm saying is like when I look at these situations, because like one thing I will say, this is why I don't bring in politics, because me and Ganj will eventually have a fucking one-on-one battle if I knew more about my own side. But like some people were saying like, oh man, like it's gonna be the same thing when Joe Biden's in office, and granted that might be the truth. But it's like, what about your guy? Your guy, fucking Bernie Sanders, quit. He was just like, I don't like it. It's stressful, and he fucking stopped. So it's like, I like Bernie
I
Sanders.
mean, he didn't really quit. He lost. I mean, I'll give you if you were like, the motherfucker lost, I'm like, you right. I'm sad face. He didn't exactly quit. Go like, it's too hard. It was more like, oh, my opponents all joined into a goddamn Megatron named Joe Biden, and now he has all the votes.
He got fucked over by the DNC. Legit.
But like, it's
Dude,
politics. Like, this is his game. Like,
yeah,
do
and
what they did to
everybody.
you. Like,
Imagine you're playing football and you got the ball. Now you're running through, and for some fucking reason, everyone's fighting you now. You're like, are we on the same side? No. We want that guy to get the touchdown, but I got the ball. No.
The
Fuck
ref
you.
tripped you and shit.
And they tackle you, take the ball, and it's like, well, do I just help him win? Well, it's like he's winning anyway, so fuck it. I'll just go back and do real work. Like he's been hanging in the background, helping get a lot of this background stuff actually pushed through. Like a lot of stuff that ended up happening was backed by Bernie and Trump, which hilariously enough.
Really quick, guys, I want to show y'all something. This is kind of huge.
Oh, they did a teaser for Godzilla?
And also Mortal Kombat. So I'm about to come.
I mean, let's go right into it. Fuck it. Politics is over, but by the way, we did do an Illuminati episode today, so in a couple of days or a week, depending on how life fucks me over, it will be up.
So I don't know how to share this. Do you guys feel like? I mean, I know this
And
like.
Space Jam.
I was gonna say let's get to watch together really quick. If I give y'all a link, are you guys able to do that right now or no?
Hey, send the link real quick.
Okay, cool. Let me see. I'm gonna give this link to you guys, and we'll watch it together. All right.
And in the meantime, someone will just fart in rhythm so that you guys aren't bored in the stream.
Yeah. You're saying just a few seconds of footage, but I also saw a Mortal Kombat thingy, so I don't know what else is gonna be there, and I want to take advantage
Well,
of this
they only
situation.
showed set pics, right?
Huh?
They only showed set pics for Mortal Kombat, unless they did something
No,
else.
there's actually a video I just saw right now.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
like it showed. You know that picture of Sub-Zero? It actually shows like a poo-poo.
Wow.
So you see what I'm
For
saying?
real, straight up doo-doo?
Gaga poo-poo pee-pee, bro.
God fucking damn it.
Uh-huh. Wait, that sounds bad. Why? God damn it.
I was impressed, actually. My tone was wrong for that.
Uh-huh. Yeah, stupid ass tone. Fuck that shit.
In other news, I got shampoo that smells like cookies, and my hand smells like cookies.
Oh shit. And that's the only time you'll smell the cookies, right?
Mm-hmm. Now continue about this
I just heard. I thought you were gonna say coochie.
later. This Roxy will help with that one.
For the love of God, play the video.
I'm trying to. There's a whole lot of things I gotta do on my end for this. Because I want
Also,
this to be
we're actually stalling for a real reason, all right? Not just because my biddy was being litty. Whatever.
What the
I'm
fuck
out.
are you talking
quit.
about?
I quit. Play the video, goddammit.
Well, no, it's not working. Man, Watch Together got dumb. Like, what
Watch
fucking
Together.
heck?
I mean, it was playing for a second.
No, because it's not the video.
Oh. Well, that does look like a oh no, those spines are mushrooms.
Here you go.
Yes.
Oh,
Mushroom
oh
spider.
shit, okay.
Ooh,
If it'll
all right.
fucking work, what the fuck is going on here?
Oh, they actually are showing some decent footage. I don't know what the fuck this other stuff is, but...
It's not
What
letting me
the fuck
play
is that?
it. It's literally not letting me play it. Oh my god. Bad boy,
Oh.
buenos tardes. I don't know what that means. I think you just said turds.
You lied to
I think it
me.
just means hello.
Alright guys, so I'm just gonna show it on my end. They're gonna watch it by themselves, but for some reason, even though I made the fucking room, it doesn't work because it probably was made by fucking Apple. Who fucking knows? Every goddamn
Oh.
thing that's created nowadays doesn't fucking work, and I hate that shit. Anyways, moving the fuck on. I'm like really actually mad.
I believe you.
I mean, it looked cool.
Oh my gosh. Like,
Yes,
this is
it
fucking
did.
stupid.
Yes, it did.
Oh, man. Okay, can we talk about some of the stuff we just saw?
So let me go and play it and then just look at it.
Okay, what am I
Oh
looking
shit!
at in here?
Look at that Sub-Zero. biggest Warner Brothers premieres.
Oh shit.
Exact same day. Space Jam. Ooh!
Oh shit.
Come on, get down for the Space Jam.
Actually, can you go to the part that Kurt's talking about where Daffy comes and eats Donald's ass?
What?
Sorry, what?
I need
Oh,
that.
I gotta see that.
That part.
Well, what I'll do is I'm gonna just stop it for a second, just because of the fact that I don't want to get in trouble from YouTube. But here we go. We're back in, guys. I got little things, Suicide Squad. Damn, that's a lot here.
Conjuring. Hold on. Hold my hand. Matrix.
In theaters and HBO, poo poo caca. Okay, now it's just repeating it, by the way. So this is not the same video that we got earlier. Sorry, guys. There's a lot of shit on my screen here. But let me see. Let me click on the one that Mr. Ryan gave us for context, dude.
Yes.
Let me see. Because I got 2 different links from people.
Okay. Thank you guys for the links, by the way.
Yeah, I really appreciate it, guys.
Really helpful audience.
And thanks for the bits, by the way. You even asking E-Mike, like, holy shit, bro. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't even know what the fuck going on. You know what I mean, dude?
Oh my god, I can't wait to talk about that shit. Excited!
It's PP hard.
Oh,
Ah!
Goddamn right it is!
Yeah, did you fall too, bitch?
Okay, apparently this is the same link. My bad. But, I mean, yeah, it's cool. I wish I would have seen more. But, here's the thing, man. Let's start off with Godzilla, because that's a big question there.
Man, he punched him in the face! He just went and punched him! That shit was fucking cool! On a fucking boat and shit with like the military, man! And that was a punch too in one
Wait,
shot!
comes out, like, that's...
Fuck you, Godzilla! That was awesome!
Damn, Alan's like the 5-year-old in the fucking candy store.
No, look at
right
this
now.
shit, dude. That's
all
fucking
I wanted,
awesome.
man. That's all I want. All I want is Godzilla to get punched in the face. That was fucking awesome.
And, dude, look how big he is.
Yeah, look at that. Like, dude, like, fuck Thanos punching Iron Man. That's almost the same energy, but like, you just see that punch. Like, that's it. That's the movie. That's all you need. Is you just need them to punch each other in the face a couple of times. Like, that shit is fucking amazing.
By the way,
I don't know who the director is.
Up 2 months, by the way. This is gonna come out in March. We got 2 more months, and then we get to see this. I'm fucking so hyped, dude. But do you think that's a bad thing though? Like the fact that they moved it, like it's almost like someone said this in the Children of Toast or whatever the fuck it's called now. They're just like, this could be a bad thing because they're trying to get rid of it. But what does that even mean, trying to get rid of it? Like I don't even understand what. The fuck.
Usually when they ship movies out, it's because they don't expect it to do well, so they're just getting it out right away. But I highly doubt that that's the case. It feels more that they know that this movie's going to get hyped, so it's been ready. Like this probably was supposed to come out maybe last
November, my birthday.
summer. Yeah, it was supposed to come out, so they're like, well, let's get it out right away, because I guess Wonder Woman did the numbers they wanted. Because Wonder Woman was a sacrificial lamb. They're like, just shit it out on on a day where everyone's at home anyway. How are the numbers going to do? And I guess even if the movie's quality wasn't good, the numbers it brought in must have been like, you know what? We can do this. Now release all the other movies, because they got money from theaters and they got money from streaming services. So clearly it did really well, and that audiences are okay with that. But I'm excited because it means I get to fucking see some cool shit, and I can watch it at home
too. Where you get a positive, scratch your balls.
Yeah, I'm looking at
watch that punch.
They said, by the way, Impact Hard to Kill. I will be reviewing that tomorrow. We're gonna do another, experimental like half chat tag, half ringside hangout thing tomorrow. So hopefully you're down to watch that. If people in the chat are like, I don't give a fuck about wrestling, then I'll just fucking call an audible and cut that shit off. But we'll see what happens. But. What's his face? Adam Wingard or Chris Ayers says Adam Wingard, his director. He did You're Next, The Guest, Blair Witch 16, Death Note, and I gotta tell you, dude, those
movies are terrible.
Yeah, that's the thing, brother.
Those movies are god awful. Oh my god, that's not gonna kill my hype, man. That shit was awesome.
That's the thing, because like some people have to do certain movies, and like they're just trying to make it. So like those movies are probably bad because of the writing. I'm not trying to make an excuse. I know it sounds like I'm full of shit, guys, but like this is why I don't give a fuck when there's a director who's had like a bad history or a good history, because the writers, I think, really make shit that's amazing. Your Next was kind of cool. I actually didn't mind that, but I didn't see the entire thing. Most of my memories of that is watching like clips about it or people reviewing it.
I mean, the guy who made fucking Kong Skull Island literally did nothing beforehand.
And so the guy who's doing Mortal Kombat has done nothing. He literally has no history of movies. But yeah, I'm looking at this, and this is fucking cool, dude. Yeah,
they managed to get M. Night Shyamalan eat your ass out, because they managed to actually get like ice physics to look really cool. And again, the guy who's playing Sub-Zero is a really, really good fighter. So I'm excited to see that. Like, they're clearly putting money into the effects. But I do need to see more with Mortal Kombat, because I have a closer, that's closer to my heart, because I grew up playing Mortal Kombat. I grew up playing on the SNES. Shut up, Ganja. Yes, eat his own ass out because he's a shit director. Fuck you. Like, get over it.
That's a weird thing to say, though.
Eat
Oh,
his
what? He's a
ass.
weird director that makes, honestly, most of M. Night Shyamalan's movies are trash. Just most of them. There's like 2 good ones. Anyway, but when it comes to Mortal Kombat, it's like, yeah, that's a game that's very close to my heart. Nick more so because he loves that franchise more than most. But like to me, it's like, yeah, I grew up playing Mortal Kombat. I like these characters. I like this world. I like fight choreography. So it needs to, for me, it's like that when I'm going to judge more harshly because I expect more out of it. When it comes to Godzilla, it's like, hey, just be cool as the other ones were.
Yeah. Ronald saying, don't cut away from the action. You know, even the first Mortal Kombat didn't cut away too much. They cut away from the fatalities, obviously, but the action, I thought the choreography was great.
That was good.
Like, dude, even Scorpion versus Johnny Cage in the fucking in his weird hell zone place. Where the fuck? I go back and watch it. Reptile versus Liu Kang. Holy shit, dude! And the music playing like, and he's like fucking kicking him and shit. Like
That theme song was made for the movie, and it's the best theme song that series has ever had.
Oh no, like the theme song, yes, but the Reptile song was great too. Because I was doing different songs in the movie. Like, the movie is like Mortal Kombat, boom, 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 boom. You know, whatever. Exactly.
But
I'll fucking like. I swear, I will dance to that fucking song in public. Never mind, I wouldn't. I quit.
Yeah, you would. I'm gonna hold you to that now, bitch.
But the Reptile song, dude. Oh, that's the shit. You know, fuck it. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna show this really quick, y'all, because oh, dude, like I love this fucking fight, dude. Do you remember that very well, Alan?
the Reptile versus Liu Kang, is that in the second one or the first one?
The first one.
Not really. I remember the Scorpion versus Johnny Cage. I always really liked that because it scared the hell out of me.
One of my favorite things, and this is why I kind of got a soft spot for Mortal Kombat, is it was one of the few things that I could see Native Americans in them. And they actually gave us a real cool power. It wasn't like that no Apache shit, Apache chief bullshit. We're like, oh, duck, and I get tall and shit. Fuck that.
That's John Mike.
Oh, but what made you
That's
feel that
still
way,
cool.
Ganja?
No, because it was the first like Native American character that was like really cool in video games besides Turok.
Oh, but
With
which
Night-
one? Nightwolf?
Nightfall, yeah.
Oh no, but they did do lots of stereotypical shit though. Like he has like wolves and like.
They did, but man, that's all I got, man. It's Pocahontas, Dances with Wolves.
Turok, you did Turok.
Because I will say I love the build of that because I was like confused. I'm like, wait, is there another native character? Because he was like, oh man, I love how they didn't like do all that stereotypical shit. And then like the first thing that comes to mind is like he's like how he has
It's
like
different,
fucking
though.
axes.
I get what Ganja's getting. It's not the tribal chief or the medicine man, like the
He's
typical
like a
stuff.
spirit that fights like shit. He's like a skinwalker. Like there's some like level of like, oh, Native Americans have this in their culture. We can use this for like demon shit. Cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They paid attention to some degree, goddamn.
E-Mike, thank you, dude. That's the one thing that was weird about the scene is that Johnny Cage was just with Liu Kang, being like, "What the fuck are you doing? Are you grabbing a monster over there?" And meanwhile, Liu Kang's getting his ass kicked for fucking like 5 minutes, while Johnny Cage is still outside, like, "Man, this place is crazy." Like, where are you at, bro?
You can tell that, like, with the original Mortal Kombat movie, it's that I don't think anybody, because I don't know if that was the first time they ever attempted to do a live-action video game movie, but I don't think anyone really understood on set what they wanted to do when it came to the flow of the story.
Mm-hmm.
So they just basically just did, like, well, Mortal Kombat's all about one-on-one fights, so let's just have reasons for these people to fight one-on-one until we get to some ending.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was the case, too. But looking at this, man, like, I'm, you know.
Wait,
even
Super Mario Brothers was first?
The Hurricane
Oh
Run over
my
here.
God.
I love it. Oh, that was so fucking cool. Let me see.
Yeah, that's really good for, again, this is a time period where they didn't really give a shit about having actual people fight with choreography and parrying and attack. So having a movie that did that was really well done. That's why I'm saying this Mortal Kombat movie has a higher bar to beat than, in all honesty, most video game movies. Because, okay, Assassin's Creed was terrible, but it had nothing to live up to. It was like it had to live up to a legacy of god-awful video game movies. Same thing with Tomb Raider. Mortal Kombat has to live up to the fact that there was already a good Mortal Kombat movie.
Yeah. And even so, it's like it was only good because it was on other ones. Cause I mean, like I liked the movie and everything too, but when people are just like, I don't think it was that good, it's like, well, yeah, because it had no competition.
It's a half out of 10.
Yeah.
Like it's definitely it's way above average. It's really good. It had some dumb stuff, but honestly, was it any worse than the movies that were out around the time?
Probably not. But here's one thing to bring up though with this, because I like this question that Chris asked, and I mean, let's might as well. I mean, since we're already talking about Mortal Kombat,
Sure.
This character is apparently supposed to be, I forgot his name in the movie, but he's Louis Tan, that's the actor. And he's going to be the surrogate character of basically, like, we're going to live vicariously through him as he looks at the whole world like, oh my god, this Mortal Kombat fucking tournament's crazy, dude. They got powers and shit. And I thought we had that character already with Liu Kang and Johnny Cage, especially Johnny Cage.
See, we do generally, more so with Johnny Cage because he's an actor, especially if they play like the Scorpion's Revenge, where he just has actually no idea people have powers. But I think at the end of the day is they just don't want to keep doing the same kind of stuff. Because what's one of the things we complain with Star Wars? It's always the same type of movie. So it's like most likely Johnny Cage will be there, but maybe this is a situation where this isn't the first like Mortal. This isn't the first time that Mortal Kombat's been going on with people from Earthrealm, because that was the start of the movie, right? Mm-hmm. Where this is the first time that Earthrealm is really being involved by like people that aren't just Liu Kang. So it's like actual normal people. This might be a situation where there's been a couple. So we're doing honestly probably a more unique story, which I'm all for. Live through another character where he gets, because honestly, I like Johnny Cage, but I also really hate him. Especially at the start, because he's just this fucking loser, but he eventually grows into someone that's respectable. But if you just have Johnny Cage as respectable and have somebody else, I'm okay with that because it's a new character.
I mean, it's true. Gunch, I'm going to get your opinion really quick. What do you feel about them having a character they're supposed to live vicariously through, and he's a completely new character to the franchise?
I'm okay with it because I'm not really too grounded into the character development of all these different like people that have been around since the 90s. So, like, unlike Alan, that's got a lot of historical background with the characters. I don't have that, so I'll be easier for me to live vicariously through them. But if you're used to a character that does that already, like a Deadpool-esque character, it's gonna feel jarring once everyone starts doing it.
Jen, how about you? What do you feel about this new character? Because you're not the biggest Mortal Kombat fan, but you're experienced with the shit. So, what are you feeling about this?
I mean, I don't have a problem with new characters like at all. Like. Hell, every new game is a new character, so why should I be bothered that there's a new game, like a new character in the movie?
Well, for me, I think because since it's, I mean, I guess you consider it a remake or reimagining, I thought that'd be smart to kind of like, all right, like, let's not do new characters because all the characters are new again because we're starting from the beginning. So I was like, well, damn, like, that's a lot of storyline stuff that happens that, like, I mean, obviously if there's going to be a sequel and a series and a this and a that, how are you going to fit Cole Yun into all of this when it's like, he hasn't been in this universe that's been going on for fucking decades.
Well, think about it. Well, compared to a Marvel movie, think of it as Spider-Man's addition to Civil War. He was a new character that essentially, for the better part of that, we lived vicariously through. We eventually learned his story later on, but he was added into there. So if you knew Spider-Man, cool. But if you had no idea who that character was, you got a chance to, figure out like, hey, what's somebody that has some fighting skill but has no idea what's going on in this world, and you essentially get this feel through proxy. This situation where it's like, yeah, people already know Johnny Cage, but clearly they're doing this for people that are both new people and fans. So the new people are like, I don't know who the fuck these characters are. New character. I get to now latch on to him. Me and you that have known these characters for our whole lives will be like, oh, cool. We get to see what happens when they grow up a little bit. It's a very good. I actually kind of prefer it that way because it just means we're not getting the same shit every single time. Because imagine if they just basically did a remake of Mortal Kombat 1. We'd be like, come on, it's been 20 years and you do the same movie. Clearly, they're taking more risks.
Yeah, and I knew of that, by the way, E-Mike. I actually don't mind P.W.S. Anderson. There's some things
I think he's a garbage director.
Well, like, because you have to realize that certain things are made for certain audiences. Like, I liked Death Race. I liked Alien vs. Predator. I liked Alien vs. Predator 2 was way better, by the way. Just
was it?
It was so well.
The only person on the planet.
And because I'm the only person that's not trying to be a fake ass or shit. But I thought Event Horizon's overly hyped, and the first Resident Evil was fun. It was hype.
That was okay.
But you know what, though? The first Resident Evil is the reason why that dude started doing shitty shit, because he got married to Mia Jovovich, and
I don't think he's been honestly outside of the first Resident Evil and Mortal Kombat. I don't think he's ever really made that many good movies. Like, I think most of it are terrible.
I don't know. For me, it's just like, once again, it goes down. When you direct something, like, he probably might not even be into Mortal Kombat. He was like, hey, there's an opportunity. I'm gonna have enough money to get the rights for this fucking thing. I know Robin Shou. I know all these fucking guys. I'm gonna make this movie. And it is what it is. Like, Monster Hunter, just watch the movie, he's not a fan of Monster Hunter. That wasn't a passion project.
He went out of his way to get it, though. Because at one point he did articles. No, but he did an interview where it's like, studios all around the world were looking to get it, but I got it. But if you don't care about Monster Hunter, why are you so excited to get it?
Have you ever heard of this thing called cash?
Yeah. Okay, I get it, but he can make any movie he wants. Like, his movies, as much as
that.
But okay, well, no, because as much as his direct, like, I don't think he's made many good movies, and most people are trash. Every movie he's ever made has made money, which means that if he wants to tackle another IP, he could. Maybe one he actually cares about more. But Monster Hunter, as much as it was popular with World, was kind of under the radar. Like, people that loved it, but it was more of a cult following that was just extremely successful. Like, he could have done another movie, another franchise. He could have done Street Fighter if he wanted to go back to fighting. He chose Monster Hunter for some fucking reason.
But, like, you keep saying for some reason, but it's like, that's... I don't want to like insult you because I even though
I
like,
don't think, but I get what you mean, but I don't think Monster Hunter is just like this. Holy shit, this is the biggest IP in the world. Like, it's a decently big IP, but there are bigger IPs he could have got. He could have got a Call of Duty movie if he wanted to.
No, he wouldn't. It's way more expensive. Monster Hunter just really started becoming super popular in America on main consoles like literally 2018. It was literally a Nintendo 3DS game before.
Yeah,
So
that's
people
what I'm
weren't
saying.
expecting
That
it
as
to
far as
become a movie.
there are bigger IPs he could have got if he really wanted
But
to
that
make more
costs
money.
money to get in. It costs very little money to get into Monster Hunter, and then your fucking profits you're gonna make from it just from people playing the game. Like that movie didn't. The only thing the reason why it was on my worst stuff is because like if you expected that to be an amazing movie, which I thought was gonna be good, but to expect it to be an amazing movie is fucking silly because it doesn't have to be. They made that shit so fast too, and that's considering Corona. I mean, it's
That
like
doesn't make
how the fuck.
just because you rushed out a piece of shit doesn't make it any better.
No, I so not even saying that. I'm saying the complete opposite of that. Like,
But even then, it's like it's just a weird thing. Like again, E-Mike just did the bits thing of Street Fighter by Paul David Anderson. Like there are other IPs that his skill set probably would have allowed him to do something better. So it's like I don't think it was money because I see what you. Oh, he could have made money. I don't think money was the reason for Monster Hunter. So I can't think like it doesn't make sense because there are other IPs that are either around the same size, smaller, or bigger. He could have had access to because again, all of his movies make money. No matter what, I don't think you have to look at his filmography. I don't think a single movie's ever lost money. So it's like he has that ability, like, hey, my movies always make money. Probably Monster Hunter, but that's because everyone's losing money in Hollywood. Like that's not because of the movie being shit. Everyone's losing money. Like again, Street Fighter would have easily. There's never been a good Street Fighter movie. He has no bar. All of them have been objectively the worst movies ever made.
well, here's the thing, and because I don't want it to be like Paul W. Anderson does not need to be brought up, like, and giving him the credit of anything right now is fucking ridiculous, considering how amazing this shit looks like over here. I don't know what you feel about the CGI. I mean, it looks a little silly right there, but this is a lower budget movie. Yeah, and well, no, it's totally not actually. But like, I mean, nowadays with what everybody has, like, I've seen that movie Jiu-Jitsu had better fire effects than that shit right there. But
I've also seen way worse. So it's like to me, it's like I watch CW shows. So to me, bad CG. You can look at any review I've ever done. I have never given shit to bad CG. I'll laugh at it, sure, and that's kind of funny. But at the end of the day, it's like you have to give me something worth it in the movie. I get low budget exists. I watch Hong Kong action movies all the fucking time. But if you're able to do some cool stuff with that, like when you have a low budget like that, you have to try your best. But clearly they're doing that fire that way because they want to do something maybe more interesting with Liu Kang. Because I'm gonna say this straight up, Liu Kang is the most boring character in the entirety of Mortal Kombat.
my God, dude, she's
Literally boring as fuck. You have this guy who's like a hell demon, and his face is a skull, and he's fire, and he has a harpoon. You have this guy who's like a fucking lizard and spits like acid and shit. You have this ice guy that can make all sorts of cool shit with ice. What is Liu Kang? I'm a monk that fights with my fist.
You do know that you talk about how much you like all those other movies that do the exact same shit from decade to
But what I
decade
mean
to
is
decade.
like true. But again, that's what I'm saying. You can do cooler stuff with him if you give him the ability. But as far as a character compared to the rest of the cast, because everyone in the cast can fight, but Liu Kang is so boring. In his own universe, he's the most
He turns
boring
into
dude.
a dragon. What are you talking about?
But they have to add that shit in to make it slightly more interesting. The guy behind
That's how you
him.
make things interesting by making him do interesting things. What
Look
the
at Kung
fuck is
Lao.
wrong?
No. Look at Kung Lao. Kung Lao doesn't need to become a dragon to be cool. He has a fucking cool ass hat. That hat that's fucking like a knife, man. That shit's cool as hell. He doesn't need to become some super god to be slightly more interesting. They had to add shit on to fucking whatever. But like him as a character, when he's not a dragon, he's the most boring person in the world. Kung Lao is way cooler and in some cases a way better fighter. So I don't know why he's never the main character, but we got to give it to the boring ass monk with the headband.
Well, I guarantee you that's not good because I'll argue all day about the fucking like interestingness of this, but we'll say that because here's the thing, guys. I'm gonna tell you right now. Once the trailer comes out, we're gonna do a deep dive all fucking week when that comes out about Mortal Kombat. I'm gonna play the fucking video games. I'm gonna play the classic shit. I'm gonna play Deadly
Can I
Alliance,
read a comic
Deception.
book to y'all?
At the end of the day, it's like I like the way they look. They look a mix of comic accurate, but also like how I'd imagine if like someone's telling me, oh yeah, some of the shit was based on true story. Like it feels like they got a perfect blend of the two. Like this to me seems like whoever's working behind it clearly has a love for it, but it's also working with an artist to make sure. Because like as much as I think Liu Kang is boring as hell, that's the coolest I've ever seen him.
Yeah, me too.
Like
I feel the same.
honestly, it's like to me, if you were telling me like It's like young Jackie Chan. We took him from the past and put him here because I'm expecting him to fight like I'm watching fucking Rush Hour. Like I'm expecting some cool shit to happen.
Yeah, but no, looking at this too, I will say that I feel like they have to sacrifice some certain characters because the fatality things, you can't just beat the villains all fucking day because the villains are going to be able to build the foundation for a sequel, whatever the fuck, whatever they're going to do next. So because of that, I do think that Liu Kang is going to have a really cool fucking beginning in this movie, maybe, but he's definitely going to die. I think the future of this franchise, as far as like the main characters go, is Kun Lao for fucking sure, and I love his look. I really love his look. I don't know how they're going to handle the teleportation stuff. I don't know how they're going to handle the way the hat works as far as like all the fatalities he does with the hat. It's like a buzzsaw.
Fucking brutal.
Yeah. So, I don't know what's going to happen there. I hope they don't do the dragon thing in here because judging by that fire, and I'm not saying it's the worst fucking thing ever. I don't give a shit about CGI sometimes too, but I think that if they try to make him turn to a dragon, that shit's going to look silly and it's going to distract people a lot. And I hope that's not the case. But me and you went back and forth already a lot on this. I'm going to get Ganja's opinion. What are you feeling about the design of these characters, Ganja?
I'm actually appreciating it. One of the things that I really enjoy about Mortal Kombat is the designs, except if the characters are like outright like demons, creatures, or something like that. The characters themselves have like really extravagant outfits, but they're actually pretty like easy to do in terms of cosplay. Mm-hmm. So like what I noticed from this, and as well as the movies before, you get like a sense of like they know how to capture the essence of the character designs. Like I could tell right away that the two fighters are Kun Lao and I forget to do with the razor hat. I don't forget. I can't pronounce it. Right.
Forgot the guy. He forgot the most boring character. I'm happy. I love you, Ganja.
No, the other guy.
He called him Kung Lao, the other guy. It's like,
no, Liu Kang is the other one. I remember him because he reminds me of Bruce Lee. But when it comes to the Mortal Kombat characters, I'm actually really interested. I'll check this movie out.
Yeah. Now, we'll continue on with this stuff. I'm going to ask Jet first on this bit. Jet, what do you think of fucking the Scorpion and Sub-Zero thing over here? Do you feel like this is a little too muted and too... Because, I mean, this is obviously way back in the day before they became Sub-Zero and Scorpion. But, like, when I first saw this, I thought this looked a little cheap. But what do you think, Jet?
I mean, it looks fine to me. Like, obviously they're not going to show, like, the most grotesque stuff, like, in, like, the first couple images.
But as far as, like, the outfits, though, do you feel like that looks a little like maybe they should have encompassed more of what we are used to there, or not really?
I'm sure, like, they're not going to keep those outfits for the entire movie, so I don't really have a problem with it.
Yeah, I do like that they're already showing their faces, too, by the way, because there's a bit of mystery as far as the old movies go, and then they're able to hide their identity in the sense of, like, hey, I'm his brother, I'm his sister, I'm his whatever the fuck.
Oh, my God.
Hey, uncle, daddy, mother.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about how the Kenniness that is Sub-Zero as a character, because every single time Sub-Zero shows up, why is my screen dark? Are you muting me? No!
No.
Every single time Sub-Zero shows up as a character, he immediately gets killed off and gets replaced by somebody else. He goes, I'm his brother. I'm his nephew. I'm just a dude. It's like, okay, I'm not going to be sad when he dies, but okay, I'll wait for him to come back.
I'm just a dude that loves another dude playing another dude.
You might as well be watching Attack of the Clones.
The biggest thing, too, is like you look at this and it's like, I'm not even sure if this would be the same Sub-Zero because if you see his eyes, the eyes are different. If you look at that and then you look back at, I'll talk about that in a minute. But like over here, it doesn't look like his eyes are blue. I mean, granted, he's like, scowling and looking downward, whatever the fucking forward.
I got a question with this image. I'm sorry, I'm the dumbest person on earth. Call me stupid. What is going on? What is he holding? Is he holding a knife?
He's stabbing him with the spear that he uses for the get over here.
Is he? Because honestly, I looked at that. I'm like, did you rip his spine out through his shoulder? Like, I could not decipher that image.
No, because his wife basically used that spear as a gardening tool. I forgot what it's called. It's called like the spa or some shit. It's not called a spear bolt, whatever that the game's called. It's something else. And basically what he did is he kills the wife and the son. And this is something that's been discussed not only on Scorpion's Revenge, the animated series, but also Mortal Kombat Legacy and the second video game. So I'm not spoiling anything that you guys don't know what it is already. But he must have did something to them, and he has that thing probably still from his wife. He's like, yeah, she's over here guarding and shit, huh? You fucking enjoying that? How about... He stabs him. And then he's like, you don't get so over here. And then Scorpion's just like, no! He actually looks pretty relaxed, to be honest. He's like, oh, yeah, it feels good right there. Yeah.
But again, honestly, right now, both those actors are incredible. I love them both. So it's like, you're picking, like, if you were to ask me, hey, make a Mortal Kombat movie and pick all the actors, they've already got the casting. Like, everyone I could think of to be, like, in these roles. Because it's like, yeah, all of them have had fight choreography experience. You also need to have good choreographers in the background. but everything seems to work. I hope we don't fucking eat these words, but I'm really excited for this movie.
Yeah, because this isn't the thing I'm really hyped about. Billy's brother, for those of you who like the weekly roast and toast, but that's McCod Brooks right there. I think that those arms look fucking amazing. When I saw the flames on Liu Kang and all that shit, I was like, oh, it looks stupid. Like, I don't know. Looking at this puts so much faith into the movie because I'm not a fan of Jax. I don't like Jax at all. I think he's a stereotype, and I think that he's really fucking boring. But man, Ashtray bitch himself from fucking the Tyler Perry movie, like he has those
Man
those
has
arms.
done like 5 seasons of other shows, but we only remember him for one fucking line in a garbage.
Hey, I'm not
Tyler
gonna remember
Perry
him from
movie.
fucking Supergirl. Fuck that show.
I will. He was Guardian. That's how I knew he could
Ashtray,
fight.
bitch.
That's how I know he actually has the ability to fight well because I've seen him fight in that show. So it's like, okay, you get a good choreographer and trainer, you're gonna be able to. But those arms are incredibly impressive because usually when they do metal arms, they're gonna do the Winter Soldier technique where it's like, oh, it's a bunch of metal plates, but whatever. This looks like they actually went through intricate, like it looks like a practical effect. I'm sure it's CG, but I like the moving gears. I like the intricately laced metallic items within it, where it looks like an actual robotic metal arm. Like it doesn't look like they just slap metal onto fucking and CG the arm. Like no, we actually built arms.
And I like the facial expression. I mean, granted, it's not in motion, so I know we're kind of sucking this movie's dick.
That mustache is terrible though.
He only has a mustache. But the
I
thing is,
know, but it's the only thing where I'm like, yo, that mustache is terrible.
the only thing I'm saying though, or what I'm trying to say is just like, you know, he has a facial expression that it's like, I would imagine that someone had arms or metal arms, they wouldn't like put a lot of emotion into doing anything because they're so fucking strong. It's like, oh, who cares? I'll push us out of the way, blah blah blah. But the fact that he's like, fuck yeah, like, dude, like,
Do you think he's fighting somebody, or do you think he's testing his might?
No, I actually think he's
Test your
pushing
might.
back because if you guys see this over here on the left, I'm pretty sure the Emperor Shao Kahn's not supposed to be in this movie, but that looks like Shao Kahn's hammer. And on the left, if you see like
Is that a hammer? Oh yeah. To me, I thought it was a big piece of wood, and it's like testing his butt. But yeah, he is kind of holding back because that shoulder plate does look very similar. We're the biggest nerds in the world right now. I want to point out.
yeah.
Look at the
I've
shoulder
seen- I've
blade.
seen bigger
That's
nerds.
Shao Kahn's armor.
We're saying Gaja?
I've seen bigger nerds.
Yeah. But no, but like even like his shoulder blade, you see like that armor he has there, that has to be a Turkatan soldier. So it has to be somebody that's in Baraka's army. It has to be someone that's connected to Melina or Shao Kahn. That's like the Outworld armor. So, dude, I'm
But
fucking.
also something I want to point out about Jax, because this is why I know that at least a couple Earthrealm things have been going on. Because usually when they started off, Jax doesn't get his arms till later. There's usually some issue where it's like his arms get fucked up, then he becomes metal arms. So that situation with the mustache and his metal arms means there's been a couple of these. That's why I'm thinking this isn't the first Mortal Kombat Earthrealm's been a part of. There's been a couple. So these characters know each other already.
And I also feel like if he's finding someone who has Turkatan armor, maybe Baraka's in this movie and he chopped his fucking arms off, which I've always felt like he should have been the person to chop his arms off. When they used Ermac and some other people, I was like, okay, that doesn't make sense. Why would that happen? But the fact that maybe Baraka did it, finally, it's like, now that's a storyline I want to see. Jax versus Baraka. I don't get to see that a
They
lot.
haven't shown Baraka. Like, I don't even know if they mentioned Baraka. Because, like, Baraka could be really cool, but maybe they're saving him, you know? Because you could easily do a second movie about Baraka and the rest of his, like, people attacking, you know?
I don't know which game it was, but one of the games had like this small little biography for him that no one else continued with and didn't have the continuity to want to continue it. But there was a part where Baraka is not really Baraka. He's King Baraka. And when he dies, one of the other Takardan soldiers become the new King Baraka. That's why you always see him in the games. Like, he will never stop coming back. And I was like,
curious.
that's such a cool concept. What were you saying?
No, I agree with that because I'm curious because like, you can easily set that up for a sequel. But like, this is going to be a stupid question because when it comes to making a Mortal Kombat movie, are you going to stick to the idea that it's one-on-one fights? Or are you going to make this an action movie? Because those mean two different things. Because for the first one, it's like, yes, you have tournament rules, everyone fights, you fight up to the top, you beat the villain, whatever the fuck. Or are we just going to basically call this Mortal Kombat, have some story where we're dealing with all these characters, and instead of the tournament, like, let's say there's no tournament in this, and it's just going to be very similar to Shaolin Monks or even the first Mortal Kombat video game where it's like, we kind of have the fights happening before and after. There's a hint of a tournament, but there's a story that doesn't really... The tournament doesn't matter to the story. As I'm wondering
I think
if
we
they're
can
gonna
actually spoil this now, too. But Cobra Kai Season 3 has a really cool thing. I'm going to spoil it in 3, 2, 1. Spoilers! Cobra Kai Season 3 ends in a really, really cool way where you're like, hey, we're going to have the tournament. And keep in mind that the Karate Kid was based on a tournament. You know what I mean? So the fact that they had, 3 seasons of just people living in this world where Cobra Kai exists, you know, at the end, it's like, okay, we're gonna end the tournament and we're probably gonna end the series off because that's
Yeah.
what this is all based around. I would love it if this movie has nothing to do with the tournament, because if you see over here, Sonya's still going after Kano. Wouldn't it be cool if, like, the way they solved their big fight in this movie is finally it's like, hey, so there's some people still alive. You guys are about to fight Shane soon. Watch part 2 because the tournament's happening then.
Actually, or they do it's the ending of
Yeah.
the movie, where it's like, hey, we see these characters fighting randomly throughout the. Maybe it's a situation where it's like, hey, we keep jumping across worlds where everyone's kind of doing their fights, and eventually, like halfway through the movie, they get like the letter and be like, hey, join Mortal Kombat. And instead of it being Shang Tsung doing some crazy shit, it's like, no, this is an actual tournament where you can settle your grievances.
Yeah, Bad Boy, if Cobra Kai was an anime, the tournament would take up the entire season. Yeah, it probably would.
Yeah.
Which one be?
I mean, it might take up the entire season next time, like next season. So,
which would be cool too. But no, like I would like the idea, Alan. By the way, I like that people getting a letter like Super Smash Brothers, like.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. It's Super Smash Brothers letters, and then they have to go over there because, like, usually when you do the Mortal Kombat, it's like the tournament's the big focus, so it's just getting everyone over there. But I want the opposite, where it's like the tournament isn't the focus; it's everyone else's tasks, and then they meet up. Because again, I feel like this is Mortal Kombat 3. You know, they already did the 2 movies, we just never saw them.
Yeah, I'm looking over here too. It's like this Kano look. I love it. I love that. You know, for one, this is one thing that really separates it. Where it's like, no, we're not going to go with the original storyline thing because that if that was the case, his whole fucking eye would be like metal, like his whole half of his face. Over here, to going with something more muted, which I wouldn't be surprised if somehow he survives this movie and he becomes more robotic as the movies continue. And I know it's like thinking way ahead, guys, but it's like, dude, this movie's going to do at least somewhat good just out of curiosity. I know there has to be a part 2.
Well, not like that. If it does, like Hollywood's sequel whores now, so if it does even moderately good, they're gonna give you another one.
Yeah. So
Who's playing? Do you know who's playing Kano? Because I feel like the actor looks really familiar. I just can't remember.
Uncle Bob. No, I really don't know. Let me see actually, because there's a whole list of the cast over here. Actually,
I would like to see the cast list because I feel like he looks really familiar. But this movie.
Josh Lawson.
Josh Lawson. I will look that up.
Yeah, you look that up. Apparently, it was on House of Lies that Chris Ayers said over there in the chat.
Oh, never mind. He looks like another dude. So,
but
like,
CC Strainer. It's gonna be Melina. Jet, we're gonna get Melina. Are you hyped? Are you hyped?
Oh, they better give her the.
I sure am.
No, that's cool, dude. Then they have to bring in Baraka because, like, that's the thing. She's the Tarkatan sister of both Kitana and Baraka. Like, that has to be a connection.
I could see them doing that as an after credit teaser, where it's like, Baraka comes in and it's like, hey, welcome to the family, or I'm back, some shit. And then they just like, okay, now we're going to do Baraka being the villain for the next one. Like, I could totally see that. And the thing about Mortal Kombat is like, it's literally about death and fatality. So it's like, I'm not saying every character needs to die, but you need at least three people need to die in this minimum. Like, in fatality. Like, Kano has to go.
No, I disagree. But I will
say
this,
the Kano's one of those people where he doesn't, like, he might have a history in regards to Sonya, but most of the time, the results in his death. So it's like, he's going to die in this movie.
Well, what I would like to do is have people die, but yet somehow they can be brought back in spirit. Like, for instance,
MK10.
Well, no, that was like in-game levels of ridiculousness. But like, for instance, Sub-Zero dying. I know you hate this, man, but like the Lin Kuei is really important. There's many people that can be Sub-Zero. Okay, like I'm sorry, dude, but like,
no. Sorry. 3 besides Sub-Zero. Because Sub-Zero is gonna die. Like, this is a spoiler. Sub-Zero will die if he. Dude, could you imagine if they don't kill Sub-Zero?
That would be fucking hilarious.
I would laugh my ass off at home, or maybe this is in theaters at that point. I will laugh if he survives to the end, but they keep fucking with the audience. Like, oh shit, maybe he's gonna die this time, but he keeps surviving every time.
Diaz, would you like to see the animators for Blood of Zeus and Castlevania do a Legacy of Kain anime series? Anime series in general, I would love a lot of them.
That's never gonna happen, buddy. I'm telling you this right now.
Not Legacy of Kain, but maybe, I don't know, like, because there's like some smaller stuff that they can do. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
I keep cutting off. I'm excited.
I know it's all good. But like the guys who did Castlevania, like, dude, I want to see them do like tons of shit. Like, there's a lot of things you could do. Like, I know they're doing the Resident Evil thing. Not the guys who did that, but like, Resident Evil is gonna have an anime series coming out soon. So maybe next year, when all this fucking crazy shit that's happening in the world, maybe they'll just be like, hey, listen, you guys have asked for a lot of stuff for coming out in 2022, 2023, lots of these games. Because I gotta tell you, dude, people will be fucking hyped for a Legacy of Kain thing. I know there's a lot of fans of that, and I never played it. But there's tons of fans of Legacy Kane. I think it's enough.
Oh, there are, but it's one of those things where it's like it's really niche. So the people that like it love it, but it's been so long since they've even had a game. Where at least Castlevania has been always around to a certain degree. Like it's way more popular than Legacy of Kain was. Like Legacy Kane would be interesting, but then again, these guys also did Dragon's Dogma, which outside of me and like 10 other people, no one ever played that game.
I'm about to say, ever seen the '90s Mortal Kombat cartoon? Fuck yeah, and the live action show. But the Defenders of the Realm, that's the cartoon. I love it.
A live action show.
Oh, Conquest was the live action show. That shit was great. And one of the best finales to a show I've ever seen in the history of fucking shows. It fucking womps on Walking Dead, it womps on Sopranos, it womps on Lost. Actually, everything fucking destroys Lost. I fucking hate it.
Not Game of Thrones.
Yeah, that's not good.
true.
Game of Thrones.
I call that as a bullshit call, and I still got it right.
You just did that because you're like, what can make Alan the maddest?
Me and the writer's not the same thing.
But they all tried their best to make that the worst thing possible to piss you off.
Honestly, I'm utterly convinced of that because I've been shitting on Bran Stark for years. So they're like, yeah, fuck this guy. I'm like, well, fuck you guys too. I'm glad you got fired.
But no, dude. They said Powerhouse did another anime show on Netflix called Sayas Manos. That's pretty good to watch. I might check that out. I don't know. Is that Spanish, by the way? Because I think I said that with an accent, like Sayas Manos.
Yep, you said it right.
I
Big
can't
farts.
believe it. Oh, that actually looks really
Big
good.
farts, bro.
Big farts.
What's it about, by the way?
It's about my manos. I don't know.
Nick, you could have just ended on a high note.
Yeah,
But it's
true.
big farts, Alan.
Big fucking farts.
What'd you
Dude. Big farts. I like how you said, what'd you say? Like, you about to slap her? Like, you're talking to me
No,
like
I was
that,
asking. I
bitch?
didn't hear.
No, Alan, big farts.
Big farts, bro.
Oh,
Don't you
Big wet
understand?
no, I'll check it out. The animation looks cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, big farts.
Shut up.
He broke. Shut up.
He's just getting mad too. Shut the fuck up with the farts, especially the big ones. But no, dude. Yeah, I don't know what to really say else other than that. I'm looking at this and I'm fucking hyped for Mortal Kombat, man. Like I've been hyped before I knew anything about this, but now seeing these pictures and everything, guys, like this is gonna be cool. And as far as like any kind of predictions I have as far as when the trailer comes out, I think it has to be this next week. It might be Tuesday. I really think that the reason why they put these pictures out here is to start kind of going around like the that whole snowball.
They gotta get the hype train ready.
Yeah, the marketing train. Like because I've noticed like trailers come out like 3 to 6 months before something comes out, and this is like literally only 3 months away. So I think what they're trying to do this time is keep it in your fucking like head or your memory the whole way until the movie comes out. You might not see 3 trailers from this. You might see 2. You know what I mean?
I'm happy about that, man, because I'm sorry, like maybe it's just I'm not the average movie going audience. So maybe the average movie going audience wants. Wait, why is he saying trailer out now? What?
Because he wants to give me hype.
I was just gonna say I'm not the average movie going audience, so I know a lot of people around the world like, oh, they want to see 18 Marvel trailers. I'm like, honestly, I don't.
Dude.
I don't need to see a trailer for the Eternals. I might check it out. I don't need to see a trailer for Doctor Strange. Like maybe a quick one, but like I already know I'm gonna watch it. But at the end of the day, trailers aren't made for people like me. They're made for people that don't give a fuck about this stuff, so they keep showing shit.
By the way, just to put this out here because that's going on, I just want to show you, like, just while it's fresh in my fucking memory, my heart literally sank. I don't know if you heard me, but like, I thought it was real, and it said, and as soon as I put up, it's this guy from Suicide Squad or whatever the fuck.
I had a tab open because I was ready to look it up.
Man, fuck you, Kirk.
Fuck you, Kirk. You're banned.
Yeah, you have my heart drop. I was so fucking happy.
I expect that shit from Jet, not you.
You fucking son of a bitch. That's just as bad as when Jet got us with the Notch thing, and she's just like, Notch is dead.
I knew he wasn't dead. She got you.
You got it too, bitch.
No, I was like, he's not dead. I would have heard. And I looked up. It's like, no, he's not dead.
Ryan Party, never gonna give you up. And I used to fall for that shit all the fucking time.
Me too,
Dumbass.
man. Every time
but
I
I
look
like
for
that
a brand new fucking video game trailer.
Oh man, dude. Ryan's saying, "Well, I love it to the YouTube series." Here's the thing: that's really hard to do. I'm gonna judge this movie based on just like what Annihilation and the first movie was, but the YouTube series was fucking great because it's a series. I still think series are way better than shows, man. When it comes to like,
was he asking a review for it or?
Huh?
No. What was he asking in regards to that? I didn't actually.
Oh no, like will it live up to the YouTube series?
Oh, that's gonna be. Actually, I think it has an ability to be better than it because that first season was fantastic. That second season was fucking terrible. But the thing about the first season is it's kind of what I want. It was every episode was for people that don't go watch it. It's actually amazing. But every episode's like 10 episodes. It's like 20 minutes, and it focuses on one character. So you have, you have Scorpion, you have Sub-Zero, you have Jax. They even did the Cyborg, the 2 Cyborg guys, and it's probably one of the most. My favorite episode is the one they did for Raiden.
Oh yeah, that was very grounded the way they did that. Like
very dark.
Yeah. Oh god, yeah. Like the way that one person. I don't want to spoil. Actually, I literally don't want to spoil it because we can talk about it without spoiling it. And I'm telling you guys gotta watch that, at least that episode. It's really
it was fantastic. The second season, I think they're just like, oh no, everyone liked us. Okay, we can do more stuff. And it was like constant backstories and flashbacks into other flashbacks and just confusing narratives. It focused on Melina and Katana, but it never went anywhere. And after that season, I'm like, yo, I'm done with this.
Yeah, man. But here's the thing: we talked a lot about this. People can already hear a portion of a trailer playing, so we're gonna get into it. If you guys don't want to hear negative stuff, I suggest taking your way out.
I mean, you've already been here, so
yeah, no shit, right? But all the excitement is now gonna die in the next fucking 5 seconds because, starting off with this fucking thing, I didn't know what to think of this other than just when I saw the trailer, I really hated the black and white look of it. Even in the trailer, it seems like they're going for a joke. Honestly, like it's like, is this just for the fucking trailer? You know what I mean? Like it's ridiculous. The thing is, though, is like I never felt like there was any depth to the characters of what's her name, Scarlet Witch and Vision. Yep. I always thought like any kind of depth to their characters was either in the comic books or some kind of science fiction depth. And I wanted some grounded reasons why I would give a shit about them. But they didn't allocate enough like screen time on any of the Marvel movies because they're focusing on Iron Man, Captain America, and all this other crazy shit. You know what I mean? So it's like it's almost unfair to say like, oh, these characters are really bland and don't have anything because they just didn't get the time. So I was kind of happy to know like, oh shit, they're gonna have their own show. It's gonna be cool. We're gonna get to learn about them. Blah blah blah. And like I gotta tell you, like looking at the trailer, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be one of the situations where they don't give a fuck. They're gonna, Marvel's gonna sit there being like, hey guys, you're gonna support everything we do, so we're just gonna throw you some fucking bullshit, and you'll say it's good because you had to. It's comic books. Now, at this point in the review, because I start things off like this all the time, and then I go like, oh, and then I watched it and I was so wrong, blah blah blah. Not this time. Like, this is another example of these fucking companies just taking advantage of you fucking being stupid. I'm sorry. But the fucking thing is literally black and white, and it literally has canned laughter, and it literally has stupid fucking jokes, and it's literally boring. It's all the things I knew it was going to be when I saw the fucking trailer. And I know it's kind of like, I should just wrap up the review right there, but it's like, dude, my God. I thought there was going to be something fucking else. There is not. This is I Love Lucy with more stupid shit. And I, like I said, I mean, we'll talk more about that in depth, but I got to get Alan's opinion on this because I am almost mad at what this fucking thing is. So what'd you think, Alan?
Well, this is the part of the review where I go, no, Nick, you're wrong because of this, and this. No, he's right. This was some fucking stupid shit. Yeah. I want to point out that I hate Vision as a character in the MCU. I think he is the most wasted. He ruins my favorite part of Ultron. I've never liked that character. They've never done anything interesting. The only thing I like about Vision in the MCU is like one line of dialogue in Civil War, and that's it. But as far as in Wanda Scarlet Witch, I feel like she's completely wasted in the MCU. So when they're doing a television show, I'm like, you know what? You know what? I love television. I love superheroes on television. I think they're both fantastic actors because I've seen them in other stuff. So I'm like, you know what? Let's do this. Let's actually see what these characters could do on television. And when I saw the trailer, I'm like, why are they doing this weird 50s, 60s aesthetic? Black and white. I'm like, well, I like black and white stuff. Clerks is kind of good. So I'm just like, well, what are they doing with this? And then I watched it, and I'm like, I'm fucking tearing my hair out because I'm like, these jokes are terrible. This show is terrible. And I saw the trailer,
doing it on purpose, by the way, guys. It's literally like he's saying this. You would think, oh, well, it's subjective, it's his opinion. No, the fucking show is trying to be bad.
And I don't get it because, okay, you watch the trailer, and for people that watch the trailer, you see it, you're like, oh, this is going to be, and you know what I thought? I'll tell you what I thought walking in here. This is going to be Black Mirror. Not as dark, obviously, I'm not stupid. But I saw the trailer, and I saw 50s aesthetic, but then I saw other aesthetics. I'm like, oh, this is going to be a situation where they're in some sort of simulation, or they started doing stuff. It's committing to a bit. Yeah, the bit fucking sucks. I'll get to that. But you see the trailer, you're like, oh, they're doing something where it's like, hey, we're going to be in this weird 50s aesthetic, but there's also something weird going on, probably a simulation. So I'm like, oh, that's going to be cool. We're going to get like 15 minutes of some weird sitcom shit, but then there's something darker happening in the background. I can't wait. And I'm like, when's it going to happen? When's it going to happen? And then the end of the episode happens. And you're like, oh, finally, because I love it. I don't know. I've watched too many movies, but the camera angle changed, and I'm like, here we go. This is normal shit now. And then they forget about it, and I'm like, But then the episode ends, and again, if you're here, you don't care about spoilers. Are we going spoilers into this?
We can, yeah, because honestly, they spoiled my fucking day. So yeah, absolutely.
But again, you pull back and you're like, oh, this is a simulation. And for people that watch it, like, oh, Ellen, you killed it with simulation by watching the trailer. Yeah, I guess the premise by watching the trailer, I'm a fucking genius. Like, that's not my point, but I'm like, oh, they finally did it. I'm like, this is a simulation because Wanda has all these weird powers, so it makes sense. They're in some sort of computer or mind simulation because she's done mind powers before, so we know there's something going on. So I'm like, next episode, we're going to go right into it, right? No. I'm like, well, maybe we'll get like 5-10 minutes of an actual show. No, it goes like 15 minutes before we get another weird reality thing where someone's in a radio. I'm like, cool, this is where the episode breaks, right? No, it just continues its plot. Like, the bit that they're going for, they're committing to it too hard. It's to the extent where the meat of this show isn't what I'm talking about. The weird virtual reality that's clearly going on. The weird background shit that's going on. That's not what this show is about so far. It is about random fucking 50 shows. And if this was what television was in the 60s, I'm never going back because that was garbage.
Well, see, and here's the thing. Andy Griffin was like that. And I, to this day, still like Andy Griffin. And I like Leave It to Beaver. I like all this stuff because, granted, yeah, the canned laughter is cheesy, but this is trying so hard to do that they over-cheesed it. It's like extra corny. Like, there's a part where she's like, I'm going to move, or no, she moves a fucking dish and she hits him in the hand. She's like, wow, that metal head of yours, like, those crazy powers of yours. And the crowd's like, ah, ha, ha, ha. And then they laugh at each other, the characters. And Andy Griffith, when the crowd laughs, Andy Griffith is still in character. He's like, Opie, why'd you do that? Because fuck you, Dad. Ah, ha, ha, ha. And Andy Griffith's still looking at him like, don't you talk to me like that?
But like, see, you gotta understand, Ryan. Like, the problem with it isn't that it's not accurate. It is. But the thing is it goes on for so long that I just stopped caring because it's I honestly just think, I'm not saying it's badly written or badly acted. They're fantastic actors. I think the jokes all suck, and I get they're doing it on purpose. I get everything in here. When I bring up my rating, I'm going to bring up something very important that you won't expect. But the thing is, everything in here is like, I get what they're doing. The problem is, I don't think it's good, but I get that it's supposed to be bad. I get it because, especially with watching the second episode more so goes into this where we get the literal time rewind. I'm like, oh, perfect. I was fucking right. This is a simulation created by Wanda. The problem is, I just saw an hour of some of the worst shit I've ever watched. So the thing is it's too much of that stuff. I hope episode 3 moves on and is more of what I expected. But the hour that I watched made me fucking hate everything that was on screen because I don't think any of it was funny. I get they're doing this whole bad on purpose because this is clearly in the mind of a character that wants this. And there's a lot I can break down to this. The problem is I'm getting subtext, whereas the forward text is atrocious.
And that's not to say there isn't potential here, because here's the thing: there's parts where their acting does come into play. Like there's parts in the second episode. There's a new character comes in. I forgot her name, but she's the only black character, which I'm sure they're going to touch on that a lot with the whole like a bunch of white housewomen around. And that was kind of interesting because I'm like, okay, well, this character is interesting without the fact that she's been in Marvel movies. Like this is a new thing, so I'm curious to see what happens with her. But then also too, like when that person I'm talking about comes into the show. Scarlet Witch starts acting different too, and you start seeing her like kind of like what the fuck, like especially with the Wanda. There's a radio thing that's saying like Wanda, what happened to you? Why are you doing this? And it's actually kind of creepy. And then they go away from it. And it's like fuck, man, like this was getting interesting, but you pull it back and it's annoying. But the fact that I was slightly interested just because a fucking noise came out of the radio, there's potential there. They're building it up enough where it's like okay. I mean, Marvel, the one thing they're good at is marketing. They know how to keep the cliffhanger going, even if it's a trailer, if it's a fucking 3-hour movie. There's still that little piece of something left that's like, I guess I'll watch the fucking next one.
And I'm glad you brought that up because that's one of the things where my theory wheels are going because I think that this is following the events of Endgame, in which Wanda is missing a Vision so much that either she created a alternate reality in her mind in which Vision is still alive and she's trying to live the quintessential life. And this is just me speculating, this is a total guess. She created the simulation or is working with somebody that can make simulations. She's living this 50s, 60s aesthetic because her character in the MCU grew up in Sokovia, which is like a third world country. So the television they got was probably syndication of the Andy Griffith Show.
Yeah.
So she thinks that's what American life is. So she's creating this. That's why when shit starts going weird, she's scared, not because because she knows what's going on. Because she goes, Vision, save him, like in a very scary way, because she knows this is fake. That stuff is fucking incredible. So I really actually enjoyed that. But the problem is it didn't. I feel like the meat of the episodes was so bad. And this is where I'm going to go to the positive part. As much as this is terrible, this is clearly inspired. Whoever is writing this, whoever made this show, said, I'm doing this. This isn't a shout-out fucking television show. This is an inspired idea by somebody that actually cares. And I don't like it, but I get what it's coming from. I just disagree with a lot of what's going on. That's why I'm giving it a 2.5 out of 5. As much as I hated every second of it, at least I can appreciate inspiration when it comes to comic book storytelling. And that's implying that the next 5 or 6 episodes is more of what I'm expecting. If it is, then cool, I get it. But the problem is I think they committed too hard to the bit, where if they just did this like 45 minutes and had 15 minutes of regular stuff, I would have enjoyed it more. The fact that it was almost an hour of this with maybe 2 minutes of the crazy shit, that to me really bothered me.
And that's the biggest thing about this too. Is
Chris Nolan is not the writer. Go fuck yourself.
That was great.
You fucking liar.
I fucking love Kirk. I'm not gonna forget that shit earlier about Mortal Kombat, that little bitch. But the thing is, though, is you know, I'm kind of right there with you. But I get this 1.5 out of 5, and that's not to say that like this is complete and utter shit. It's just it's so fucking not my thing because one, the potential of what this has to be something normal and something really really cool for Marvel fans, I'm still not gonna like it because I fucking hate Marvel shit. Because these characters are not interesting, and you should have built them in the other movies. But that's the problem. It's just like, and I hope I don't get Jet mad with this one, but it's like with Thor Ragnarok. They ruined movies that came out later. Like whether or not you like Thor Ragnarok, blah blah blah, the seeds of really bad writing happened there. I'm sorry, but it's the truth, man. Like with Hulk, what happened with Hulk Infinity War, especially in Endgame, that's because of Thor Ragnarok. And lots of things like with Chris, I was gonna say Chris Herman, Chris Hemsworth, this fucking Thor thing, like all the shit that happened with that too. I feel like a big part of that was Thor Ragnarok. There's lots of older.
I was appealed to be a hater.
But the thing is, like, I agree with what you're getting at. But the benefit of the fact that these characters had almost no screen time is we don't have like they can essentially do whatever they want. All we know is that they love each other. So and that's really all you need to know. So them building up the stuff there. That's why I hope this show gets better because I can tell there's potential. It's like right underneath the surface. But the problem is, I'm afraid the next episode is gonna be bad. It's just gonna be more of this, and that's gonna break my heart. Where it's like, yo, am I gonna have to watch 8 episodes before I get something that's good? Because I feel like you can make this amazing and heartfelt. If what I'm saying is actually true, where she's creating this quintessential life because she misses him so much because she never got a life with him, so she's imagining, like taking trauma and making it reality. Because that would be fantastic, and it would cast an emotional tone on the first 2 episodes. You could retroactively make those episodes great. But this is only 2 episodes, so it's like I'm gonna watch another episode.
Me too.
But I'm gonna be nervous.
Yeah, and same here. And I'm gonna watch this all the way through, to be honest, because I know that there's something gonna be at least somewhat usable here. I think it's gonna be kind of cool, and it's gonna have to affect all the other Marvel shit at some point too. So I am gonna keep watching this. But like at the same time, I just want to say like the reason why I give this such a bad rating is because, you know, I think that like lots of things that are wrong with this is wrong about Marvel in general. And it's like what they had to do here is, granted, you know, it's probably someone's passion project. I didn't feel that way, but it is what it is. The thing is, like, it's still just doing the same old shit. Like, I mean, and to the point too, where it's like they're not even reading their own characters right. Like, there's a part in here where Vision's scared of a tree branch or anything. This motherfucker fights aliens and all this other shit. He's clearly a robot. They talked about how, you know, he doesn't have emotions, or he does have emotions at some point, but like, you know, he doesn't eat, he doesn't do this, he doesn't do that. But yeah, like he's scared of a tree branch. Like I don't know, like are you a robot or are you not a robot, dude? Like can we please like?
Oh no, he is a robot, but he's a sentient robot, so he does feel fear. It's just very. It's not like he's not a Terminator bot. He's not like Ultron. But even in the Ultron movie, they kind of show it's like he's a bit calmer and he doesn't really understand, but he's more of a confused child. So obviously, again, the show they're clearly playing up for shits and giggles. Like I said, this is involved in a character like with Wanda, who's basically trying to make him like feel more normal. Yeah. So she's trying to project these emotions onto him of him being scared because she wants to, again, emulating a lot of what those shows used to be, of how people used to be. Like the father would be like kind of skittish at the window. That's a joke that would have been around at the time.
But another thing to be positive is like on top of just you know, like expecting something to happen because I'm so used to the fucking formula, I appreciate shit that's not part of the formula, like the stuff that happened with the boss here. I thought that was kind of cool, and I hit the wrong fucking thing. But the thing is like, I mean, there was a part in here where, you know, I guess for most sitcoms, it'd be usually predictable, like, oh, he's going to choke, and then maybe, you know, that's how he loses his job, or maybe he, you know, helps him get the steak out of his fucking mouth or whatever. But he used powers. And me being nervous because I really did not expect what's going to happen. Is he going to lose his job? Are they going to finally do the dinner right? Blah, blah, blah. All this shit's going on. I was very happy to see that, like, I can usually guess everything happens in black and white sitcoms. I can guess what happens in Marvel movies. And here, I was completely shocked. Big points for that. Big farts.
Yeah. And that's again, you're right. That's one of the things where it's like I was like, where are they going with this? So when it happened, it excited me because I'm like, the way at no point did Wanda basically said, "Hey, save him," and Vision just saved him. So Gene in the chat's like saying, "Oh, you know, that's not Vision, that's Wanda's interpretation." Yeah, I completely agreed. Especially what happens in the second episode where she rewinds it. It's like, yes, this is clearly she's controlling this world, but the radio in there, it's like that's why I'm thinking she's like for people that watch Naruto, and Jack probably fix my pronunciation, but it's Infinite Tsukunomi.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, not Naruto, but the other part, the Infinite Tsukunomi, where everyone goes into a dream world. That's what they want, and most likely that's what it is. This is Wanda's dream world that she can control. But again, the beekeeper at the end of the episode, I'm like, she was afraid of him, and then she rewinded time to do something. Like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah. By the way, too, I was gonna say more, but my fucking mic broke. So people, take care of your equipment. But anyways, fucking yeah, dude. So yeah, 1.5 out of 5 for me. Even though I know that you gave kind of a lower score, but I even went lower. The thing is, though, is I do expect this to get better, and who knows if they earn it, man. Me and Alan could be coming back here in 3 episodes saying, "Man, what the fuck happened? Holy shit!" This
I hope
awesome.
I'm right.
Yeah, it could be cool.
And Kirk, it's like, why are you asking me if she controls the world? She literally rewinded it at the end of the last episode.
Yeah. Which is, I mean, but once again, it's like these rules come out of nowhere. It's like the Force, you know.
But that's the thing, though, is it's not, because it's one of those things where it's like, look, as far as like her powers in the fucking MCU, it's like she just has telekinesis and mind powers. But like again, Age of Ultron, your favorite movie, she basically put everyone through very vivid hallucinations. There's no reason why she can't do that again.
True, but then it's like, if that's the case, and this goes to when people were talking about talking shit about Joker, because you have like a narrative or a narrator that you can't trust.
Unreliable narrator, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, with this, you have an unreliable depiction of reality. This whole show, this boring ass fucking terrible show that we're watching, might not even be a show. And we're just gonna go back to the Marvel movies, and Scarlet Witch is gonna do her stupid fucking twisty things around thing. And none of this is going to matter because Marvel just does that. They just have they have a pen that you can erase, and they just erase whatever the fuck is convenient to erase for them. So their next movie could come out, and then you guys go, "That could do it."
I don't know if these characters are coming back though. I feel like this is a one-off. I feel like now that they're on television, because again, you nailed it right. It's like the movies are focusing on, you know, Captain America, Iron Man, all these other characters. They never had time for the side characters. That's why them getting their own show. Even if it's probably only going to be one season. I don't know if Wanda is going to come back for the other Avengers movies. I don't know if Captain America or Bucky. They could easily be like, hey, these stories are over. Maybe they'll come back as a random fighter, but like, I don't expect them. Like they already confirmed it for season 2. So Loki's just going to be on television. These characters are going to get their arc, and it's like, I don't expect them to ever come back.
Yeah, man. But that's pretty much our review for that. We will probably keep coming back to this show as the episodes air or whatever. But yeah. Could be better, but we'll see what happens. Now, what's up?
So is this whole thing basically hinting at the storyline of House of M?
Okay, so I'm glad you brought that up. I don't know a lot about House of M. Do you know a lot? I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you can keep going.
Okay, so what House of M is Scarlet Witch is one of the most powerful beings in the entire X-Men universe, but it's the X-Men universe, so everyone's the most powerful being. Whatever, who cares? She has the ability to manipulate reality, and she goes crazy one day. I think it's after Quicksilver dies, and basically she rewrites the entire universe. That all the basically because what it is there's very few mutants and a lot of humans. She rewrites it so that it's the complete opposite. So she essentially fucks with reality so hard that she makes all the humans mutants and vice versa type shit. So there's like billions of fucking mutants and only a handful of humans, and just chaos fucking ensues.
Okay, yeah. So
basically think of everything as opposite. Like for example, Gambit, like a very well-known mutant.
I'll be right back. Corey's calling me. I'll be right back.
Cyclops and Emma Frost are married. I think Spider-Man is married to Gwen Stacy.
Oh, okay.
And Scarlet Witch is actually supposed to have kids, whatever, but they're obviously fake. I don't remember much, but I think Wasp actually was the reason that Scarlet Witch actually went fucking crazy because she mentioned like her not being able to have kids or something, like some dumb bitch.
Yeah, but she basically kind of loses her mind and goes through it. But it feels very similar where it's like clear, like again, especially with the last episode where she literally rewinds everything and changes the world around her. This is the situation in which this is all in the mind of one character. And I hope, because right now I have high hopes. The only reason I gave it a 2.5 out of 5 is because I have high hopes that this show can turn into a 4. Because this has potential. Because if what I'm saying is true, I'm excited that this could be a situation in which this entire episode is in the mind of a character, and that's beautiful to me. Where this character misses the other person so much that they created their idyllic life, and it's just a shitty sitcom. Like, that to me is beautiful.
Yeah. Although it does question like if it's gonna actually go more into the House of M line, because I mean there are some very big differences here, but I wonder if it will actually go into them like debating on whether or not they have to kill Scarlet Witch or not.
I
mean, will it really affect the overall like theme of everything too if they do kill her off? Because like, is she that important?
No.
Oh, she's strong.
Oh, she is. She's extremely strong, but she's one of those characters where it's like if she dies, no one's gonna notice her.
Okay, yeah. Like, in what'd you feel about her just in the other movies in general? Like, did you like her depiction or whatever? Like, I mean, what do you think of the character? Because like for me, I keep forgetting she exists except for the show.
I like her in the comics. I actually don't like her character in the movies because I think her character is basically no character.
Yeah. And hopefully
like her character is basically just her with Vision, the couple.
Yeah, and I hate when shit's done like that. By the way, I hate when that's done.
I mean, I liked her in Civil War for the 5 minutes she was there.
Yeah, I mean, Age of Ultron. I think she, it was a cool moment. She had a cool CGI moment, but at the same time, like, no, there's characters here that clearly do steal the fucking, they steal the spotlight.
That's the problem when you have like 15, 16 characters. You're like, their characters, like Hawkeye got forgotten almost as much, but he's a main Avenger.
Yeah. So yeah, it is what it is. But hopefully, like I said, that hopefully that show gets better. But you never fucking know. But we'll definitely come back, and I mean, I think me and Alan are both very open to saying like, no, we were wrong. It got better.
Oh, again, like I said, I'm giddy at the idea that my prediction is at least even half right. Because again, I said this. I'll say this again. Like the idea that this is all created because she misses a character is beautiful to me. Like this whole world she created because she wants some idyllic life. Like I love that shit.
Yeah, we got a little body
Hey,
here.
you guys want to become famous? Buy him followers, Prime on viewers.
I don't know.
What?
Let me see. So I'm using this fucking Moobot thing, and
bigfollow.com. Let's go.
What? What are you saying?
No. There's a bot in the chat, dude.
That's what I'm talking about, fool.
Oh.
Fucking, you interrupt so much, I don't know what the fuck I'm saying.
Yeah, you're right.
God damn. No, I'm trying to, like, I was pretty much saying that, like, I don't know how to fucking get rid of this dude. So, Ryan, if you're able to, do it for me, because for some reason I'm stuck on Moobot, and it won't let me do the mod thing. It's my stream, and it can't kick somebody out. But yeah. What were you saying, Jet? I have no idea what you said again.
I already took care of it, God.
Oh, sorry, I ain't hear nothing. Shit. But no, so one more thing too, E-Mike saying, have question to you is, how are they going to introduce Magneto and the rest of the X-Men? That's going to be a so Alan question, but I'll try to answer it. In my opinion, I think that Magneto needs to be held back a little bit when they bring the whole Fox people in, because I think that character has been done to death. We've seen it done, especially in the first like 3 movies. He was like the villain, then a hero at a certain point because he pairs up with fucking Professor X. But what would you do? How would you handle the whole X-Men stuff in there, Alan?
It's extremely difficult because they have characters that were technically X-Men, like Wanda and Quicksilver were mutants, but they clearly basically just showed that their powers came from Loki's staff. The only thing I could think of is, well, they've established that the multiverse could possibly exist, and I feel like the multiverse is going to be them opening the realms to all these other characters, because once they do that, they can introduce the Fantastic Four can happen at any point. Fantastic Four is not a problem because it's just a bunch of characters that deal with Doctor Doom. They could literally just have, in the next movie, hey, Reed Richards, I need your help. Hello, I am Reed Richards. And then, he goes off to his own movie. when it comes to the X-Men, because of the fact you either don't make Wanda a mutant, and the X-Men have just been doing their thing in this universe, we're just now looking at them, or you do an alternate universe in which, hey, the X-Men are a thing here, and we're going to tell a different story. But I feel like they're not going to want so many separate universes because they want to have a consistent world. So I think, honestly, the best thing they're going to do is the X-Men are in this world. We just haven't shone a spotlight on whatever city they're in.
Okay, which makes sense, and yeah, dude, I do hope that that's they do that shit right, because I actually like X-Men more than Avengers. I think that, you know, the movies are way more entertaining, and the games are fucking great too. Like, I love X-Men.
You don't want to hear my opinion on the X-Men.
So it is what it is.
No, fuck it. The X-Men fucking suck, and their movies are fucking terrible, most of them. Holy shit.
See what you did, Gary? You made him mad.
No, no, you didn't. I didn't even fucking read his text till now. But no, I'm sorry. I don't like the X-Men. I think that if you talk about the Fox X-Men movies, there's like, what, 2 or 3 good ones, most of which suck. Logan is okay, but the only reason it's okay is because it's slightly better than the last one, which is okay, and way better than Origins. So, like, the fucking last almost 3 in a row X-Men movies have been fucking terrible. It's like most of these movies are not that fucking good. They do almost no development with the characters. Sorry. No, I'm going all day. I don't care about the fucking X-Men. Yeah, the 90s cartoon is fucking fantastic.
Yeah, okay, thank you. There you go. Yeah, because I do think that the 90s cartoon is fucking awesome. Now, I would argue with you on the rest of the X-Men stuff, but we'll fucking be here for another 30 minutes. Yeah, dude.
Phoenix was the worst movie I saw that year.
Dark Phoenix is bad, but worst movie of the year when Loquisha came out and Endgame came out and lots of, man, Jesus fucking Christ, Alan.
Okay, damn it. I don't like Endgame, but I'm not gonna sit there and say Dark Phoenix is better.
It's so much better than fucking.
No,
Endgame.
it's oh my
serious?
god! I thought
I
had
you serious? Are you fucking serious?
If you had a gun to my head, I would watch Endgame
You know what's
twice.
fucked up? I will watch Dark Phoenix 3 times before I watch Endgame once.
Have you even watched it once?
Yes, I watched it twice.
Than crap.
Oh my god, I watched it twice too.
Oh, and Jet, you overhated the fuck out of me. I don't know what the fuck was going on, but you were like,
look, get him, man. I'm talking shit about the X-Men, but this guy said worse shit than me.
Jet, go on. What were you saying about?
That movie was not good, like, at all. That movie has no redeeming qualities whatsoever. How dare you?
So you like the fact that you don't like the fact that they actually did something different with the fucking heroes and actually killed somebody off finally in an emotional fucking moment that actually had blood and had like an intense scene?
They kill characters off in most of these superhero movies. What are you talking about?
No, they wait till like after the 3rd fucking movie and something to actually do some
This
shit.
was the 4th movie, but sure.
In Age of Ultron, they literally killed Quicksilver. What are you talking about?
Dark Phoenix, by the way, was like not like that was the first movie of this new thing. It was like a fucking like redo. Like they're redoing the X-Men 3 last.
They had the characters from the first X-Men movie there. What's her face? Not Banshee. Oh my god, I keep forgetting her name. Raven has been there since the first one. They killed her off because Jennifer Lawrence doesn't feel like acting anymore.
That's the thing. You know what? Okay, so this was confusing because the time thing. Now all this is gonna be opinion because who knows what canon works, but it's like that stupid time bullshit because they got fucking morons writing these fucking movies. Days of Future Past made it so confusing. I don't know if this is a remake or not.
Did Alan just call Mystique Raven?
Yeah.
Did I get that wrong?
Yes, very wrong.
Yeah.
Isn't her name Raven?
No, it's Mystique.
Okay, but her real name.
No, it's not Raven.
Isn't it Raven Darkholme?
Yeah, Raven is DC. Ryan said. I didn't know that.
I mean, I'm not arguing with you much because that sounds like a comic book ass name.
Well, no, it is a comic book. It's just DC.
AKA Mystique. Fuck you.
I mean, she's one of my favorites in Teen Titans, if I can be honest.
I mean, her name is also Raven.
And here's the dumb thing, again, and I hate to do this with the fucking comic books, but see, again, guys, Raven is DC, but yet, like, there's a Raven in Marvel, or X-Men. Meanwhile, you got Captain Marvel and Miss Marvel.
You can have the same first names. It doesn't matter.
No, but it's not even a first name. It's like the name. And like the thing is, you look at fucking Marvel and DC with the goddamn Captain America, and then Miss, or not Captain America, fucking Captain Marvel, and then Miss Marvel, and then Mr. Marvel, and then fucking like, and then that person's actually Shazam.
Miss America.
No, and then they even have fucking Shazam. Like that character Shazam, they don't even know his real fucking name. Because they keep changing it back and forth these comics. It's like, dude, you guys are ripping each other off. You're too fucking stupid to get a licensing for your goddamn comic books. But then everyone else is stupid.
That's actually why it's called Shazam. Originally, it's called Captain Marvel because they wanted to show respect to Marvel Comics. Yeah. But then rights got in the way and they shut that down. So the reason he's called Shazam is because the rights you just talked about.
Well, how about they just fucking create a character and just fucking be creative? Just fucking.
Nick is just destroying his shit because these characters are named.
I hate this mic.
Don't take it out on the mic, man.
No, it keeps breaking when I shake my fucking stupid head.
Damn, everyone's shit's just breaking today.
Motherfucker! I'm just so fucking
Give me
mad.
something to break.
Motherfucking chainsaw. What?
What?
Oh, big farts. But the thing is, though,
That's fun.
looking at this, you guys get mad at fucking this movie when it actually had okay CGI, fucking fight scenes at the wild fucking zoo, fucking. Yeah, this was. I mean, there's things wrong with this.
You laughed your ass off when she fucking puppeteered the dude up this flight of stairs.
I laughed harder in the last in X-Men 3 Last Stand when she fucking has the
That's
wind
not a
suck
good
him
one
up.
either.
But this is better. You're saying it's just worst X-Men movie fucking
No,
ever.
no, it's not. It's not better than that one.
I mean, I think X-Men 3 is just as bad.
No, I don't agree with that.
I mean, if they're going a dog shot, they which smells worse, cat shit or dog shit?
But
Like,
there's
they're all
a real
bad
answer to
fucking
that, though.
products.
There is some dog shit that smells worse than cat shit and vice versa. Look at this scene. Look how badass that
We're
is.
still talking
What the
about
fuck?
shit. That scene is bullshit. That scene is complete trash.
Why?
Because the fucking first trailer shows clearly Jean Grey, but they fucking did some reshoot
Oh,
bullshit.
you know who else
to get
does that? Literally everybody else in the whole fucking industry.
Yes,
Alan.
and made a worse product as a result. They made a
Fucking look at
product.
Infinity War when you have
fucking
Hulk
terrible.
coming out with all the gain, and instead in the movie Infinity War, and I like Infinity War too, but then you watch the movie and
But
Hulk
again-
is too busy being a pussy inside of fucking Bruce Wayne.
One, that wasn't the crux of the plot, and
Or not
two, the
Bruce Wayne,
movie
Bruce
still.
or whatever.
One, that wasn't the crux of the plot. Two, they actually still had a really good movie outside of the changes. This one literally changes the entire plot to make the fucking character who's supposed to be evil a good guy. Second of all, it literally lies to you and is a terrible fucking movie. Release Endgame as much as it has issues, and Infinity War as much issues. Like, I can sit there and be like, you know what? I don't like Endgame for a lot of reasons, but fuck it. They put some effort into it. Dark Phoenix feels like they shat it out because they had to because of contract obligations.
I think they would definitely make a Hulk versus Wolverine and one of those what if things, but definitely you can't do a movie based on that. But I will say,
dope,
the reason why I'm laughing, by the way, I just want to say you can tell when Alan gets really, really mad because I just made a huge fuck up and he didn't catch it. But I said, man, in Infinity War, they have Hulk being a pussy inside of Bruce Wayne, and I was like, no, never mind. Then I go, oh, never mind. Bruce Buffer, who's the guy who goes ready to
Bruce
rumble.
Buffer? Yeah, I know. No, because I already knew what you were going for. That's the problem with me and you arguing so much. I know your sentence is how it's going to end, so I'm like, oh yeah, I already know that, but whatever. I'm just jumping onto my point.
Fucking A, dude. Like, you'll get there, by the way.
Would you rather be like, oh, haha, Nick, you made an error, yeah? Because then you just go into some bullshit about how all the characters are named the same.
Well,
I don't need to hear that
why I
for 4 times
I
today.
want you to do that just so I'm able to do that.
That's what I mean. I'm not going to
Good
fall
job
into
of
your
paying
trap.
attention, motherfucker. Fuck you, goddammit.
I'm running so fast, I'm missing the potholes just by fucking virtuous
I just
speed.
gotta find another way to argue with you because I'll win at some point. I just gotta, you know.
No, you won't. Like,
I'll
Dark Phoenix
practice.
is a bad movie.
I will practice. I'm gonna start like creating arguments with Ganja outside of the show so I can practice my new modes of fucking arguing.
What the fuck Rocky shit is this? You're gonna go to the woods and start punching trees, and the trees are gonna be different opinions.
I have an old man coming like choke the chicken, or chase the chicken.
For chicken, okay. I don't know what training you're doing in the woods, but Jesus Christ, you might want to calm it down. It's in there jacking up. I'll beat him.
You're supposed to. I got the animal wrong too. It's a turkey. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with me, dude.
No, it was a chicken. You got it right the first fucking time.
Seriously.
Yeah,
I
it's
can't
a
tell. He was
fucking
yelling
chicken.
though in that movie. He's like, I can't sound. I don't know.
Yeah, he's yelling chicken the whole fucking time.
Yeah. And Rocky's like, I can't get out. He's just chasing him around, the fucking moron.
You know how hard it is to catch a
Honestly,
fucking
my
bird?
brain is just going to a bunch of different places.
That's true. What, you thinking of
No, you
Rocky?
said chicken, and my first thought was like, Mama had a chicken, some had a cow. Dad was brown.
bro.
He didn't care how. I forgot those lyrics to the fucking song.
Oh,
Cow.
chicken.
Cow
Yeah.
and chicken. I know I completely butchered the lyrics. I'm sorry.
Mama had a chicken. My cow had a mom. I'm a chicken. Something, I don't know.
Everybody's brown. We don't know
Oh,
how.
shit. Big farts.
Big farts.
What part?
Oh fuck!
Oh, why you
I
gotta do that?
still can't do it.
Yeah, okay, I gotta get Trey to teach y'all how to fucking do that, which is very not great either. But moving on, we're gonna get to the last fucking review, guys. I promise you'll start understanding things in a minute.
No, you won't.
But this movie is called Outside the Wire. I've been fucking the movie title up for this all day, but I didn't even know this was a thing. I saw a trailer for this like 2 days ago, and I thought like, oh, they're gonna use to fuck up Anthony Mackie because the Falcon's coming out, that show, whatever. But watch this movie after 12 minutes. What I thought is, you know, the really cool storyline they have going on in these. I somewhat of a spoiler, but like they have basically mech things, the equivalency of mechs fighting people. And I gotta tell you, dude, like it was 12 minutes before you actually saw Anthony Mackie, and instead we get this guy. I think the actor's name is Lieutenant Harp. He's played or his character's Lieutenant Harp, but he's Damson Idris. I've never heard of this guy before. I've never seen him before. But man, he is really interesting. I love his character. This guy actually, and Alan, you can correct me if I'm wrong, because sometimes I just kind of zoom past these fucking things. But from what I can gather, my memory watching the movie is he is a pilot for drones that can shoot missiles, and I didn't know that drones can shoot missiles like that. Like just like one can just, pew, you know.
Yeah, they can shoot missiles. They can shoot guns and stuff like that. You see it in a lot of military shows, movies, and even some games where it's like that's what calling in a drone strike is.
But see, he talked about like later on in the movie, he even says like, "No, I'm a UAV specialist," blah 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 thing. But I'm like, well, isn't like, and granted, well, the one thing I know about UAVs is Call of Duty. So like, I'm thinking like, oh, you open the radar for people, and it's like, and I shoot them. It's like, okay, so what are you, dude? Like you?
Oh no, that's the thing. Like Call of Duty is very old school. UAV is that, but like UAVs are drones that can scan the area, much like characters do that, but they can also fire missiles. So basically, what it is a drone is to keep your bird's eye view on a situation, so you can scan it much like a UAV. Then when you acquire your target, you're able to remotely detonate and fire a missile. You could do literally, it's both.
Yeah, and because of that being his storyline or whatever, he basically gets himself in trouble because he sacrifices a few people at a war zone or just like this area that has lots of action going on at it. And the thing is, he did that versus someone actually telling him, they gave him a direct order, do not fucking shoot this missile over there. And he was like, I mean, he has his ability to actually look at a situation and say, listen, I can do the math here. We're going to lose more people than we would if I just sacrificed a couple of people to shoot this fucking missile here. But the thing is people that are emotional on the battlefield, they're like just looking at this guy like, you lucky fucker over there eating popcorn, fucking controlling these goddamn drones. You're not even slightly in a battle. And this dude, Lieutenant Harp, he's not emotional at all. He's sitting down on his couch just like playing a fucking video game for him. And it almost makes you hate him. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, dude, like, you're over here eating popcorn, and you're being a dick, and you're just killing these guys. But he kind of saves the day, and yet he gets in trouble still. Right away, man, did you kind of see yourself like, okay, you're going to hate this guy for the rest of his movie? Or did you see where he was coming from as far as the storyline goes?
I could see where he's coming from, but I can also see like they did a really interesting job because you see this a lot. Honestly, a lot to the extent where I even saw this almost exact same starting storyline in Jack Ryan season 2, where they have a drone strike person who's basically like, "Hey, I can solve this problem by just drone striking." But you got to understand is that the movie plays it in a weird way because I don't ask Ganja about this, but like I never understood American bravado when it comes to firefights. Like there are 45 people there, and it's like I ain't leaving no one behind. But why are you going to send more people in to get killed to save guys that are dying on the ground? Like, Is that really common military practice?
To be honest, the military service, no, that actually doesn't happen. Matter of fact, that's actually a military rumor about the no Americans left behind kind of thing. Yeah, if they can get your body, they will. But there's been plenty of Americans' bodies that's been lost over the years.
That was a big thing about the Desert Storm in 1991 that was, where they talked about like you don't leave no person behind. But there's so many other casualties, and it was like, yeah, this is literally a.
Well, you also run into the problem, like, everyone thinks, like, it's all, like, shootout battles, but, like, if you, like, for example, the drone operator, if, like, you, like, blow someone up with a missile, there's hardly, like, what, we gonna ship back the leg?
Mm-hmm. Or try to receive
the
dog
not
tag?
in the sense of the dead body, but, like, your comrade is injured, and do you send in more lives in a firefight to save the injured guy that's still alive?
Well, see, they used to, but here's the problem: is like people started using that because if you notice, we say notice, I mean this is a movie, but way back in the day, especially in movies in the book 2 of Black Hawk Down, there are times where the soldiers, the enemies, will actually shoot people in the leg and keeping you alive. They'll try not to kill you, just so you are bait. So
that's a sniper tactic.
Yep. Yeah, which is fucked up, but it's also
both sides are allowed to do it. See, war is fucked up because like. You think there's rules and engagements, but when the shit actually goes off, if you're the stronger country or your country is moderately successful enough, you can commit war crimes without problems.
The United States does that a lot. But as far as like what's going on here, it's like I kind of see what the conundrum they're pointing at. And to me, it was like I almost kind of agreed with the guy where it's like I agreed with him in the sense of like, yeah, you're going to sacrifice the few to save the many. But then I also understand the people on the ground going, what the fuck are you doing? You're just playing a video game up there. And I get a subordinates where they're mixed too, where it's like, hey, yeah, cool, maybe you technically did the right thing. But have you ever been on the ground? Have you ever been in a firefight? Do you know what those guys went through when they just saw their dude blow up? And it's like, you see that conundrum where it's like the main character doesn't understand it and you, the audience, almost agree with him, but you also understand the emotional part of it. And emotion is a huge part of this movie.
Well, the angle that they go with this too is like the way this is shot right here. There's a person that comes in later in the movie, and she literally tells this guy right here, is like, hey, how'd you enjoy being with those kids? It was cool. Yeah, do you enjoy your work? And he's like, well, my work? What do you mean? He's like, yeah, they are living here because you blew up their fucking houses. You piece of shit. Like,
and the thing is, it's weird because when you see these military movies, you're like, oh, it's just gonna be an excuse for like random battles and explosions in some third world country of who gives a shit stand. But they actually focus a lot on the emotion. They want you to understand what every character is going through. The soldiers on the ground that are seeing their buddies get blown up left and right. The command that are like trying to justify getting the mission successful versus people dying on the ground. The guys that are actually dealing with us, the soldiers that are fighting. It's like the people. They even show the actual people. Like this is one of the few military movies I can think off the top of my head where they're not just shooting a bunch of Arabs on the ground. Like they're doing Eastern European, so Russian. So it's like whatever. They're still picking their enemies. But they focus a lot on there, and then they go into the actual meat of this, which is like mech warfare and using robots, because this is the first encounter in which they're using autonomous robots. And I love the design because they're very steampunk, where they're very like, you could tell they're very shittily put together, where they're like, oh, this is the lowest dollar. So they still have the American bravado, but they have very shitty joints. They have decent armor. But I love that they don't have a stupid head. I've always hated this about robots. Why do we feel the need to make a box with eyes?
Yeah.
Like that's always been such a redundant thing to me. What is this? A webcam. It's just a webcam. I'm like, that's still fucking cool. One, it's a smaller target. So good luck fucking hitting that thing. But it has the same abilities as you would with eye. You have the fucking depth perception. You have the scanning abilities. So these things are very, very powerful, but you can tell people don't really like it because it takes essentially the emotion out of battle, where it's at the end of the day, it's going to be a numbers game of who has the most robots.
Yeah. And you see the business come into this right away too, the arms business, where it's like, holy shit, like this person, Lieutenant Harp, he gets a situation where it's like robots versus robots. He's in the middle of it, and he's like, I would be able to walk to one of these guys, because they actually show an example of this. He's like, normally I can walk up to these guys and say, listen, whisper, 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 deal, deal, deal. You know, I'm going to drop my gun to the ground. We got out of this without shooting each other. But over here, he's not going to talk to a fucking robot. And they show that so well. You know what I mean? Like, I feel
that's actually a common thing in war, actually, enemy and showing compassion to each other. That was actually a big problem in World War I, where people did not fire their rifles enough at enemy troops.
Yeah.
Most people died from actually artillery shells.
Yeah.
So that's a funny thing you bring up, that because there's an episode of Black Mirror that actually talks about that. It's actually very, very similar. If to the extent where the actor that one of the actors in this movie was actually the dude in Black Mirror episode where he's talking about like, hey, in Vietnam, people didn't kill each other enough until it was World War II. Is people didn't kill each other enough until we made the targets look like people. Then shooting went up and people were able to hit. Vietnam, it was a problem where people couldn't hit. Now we can increase that. So they're doing it with this with like robots. Robots just see threat, they see gun, they see shoot. Mm-hmm. So it's like it's one of those things where it's like you see a lot of that stuff where it's like people are trying to stop the gunfights from happening because they don't want everyone to die.
And this right here, this is the show stealing moment of this. I'm gonna tell you guys right now, I don't like Anthony Mackie. I don't think he's a good actor. I don't like him as a Falcon. I don't like anything he's been in, really. This was fucking amazing, and a lot of it's because of him. This was amazing. I love the CGI here. It doesn't look great, but it's like it's enough to get the point across. Yeah, I mean, I could see someone complaining, but I didn't have a problem with it. It's like, it's whatever. But the way he acts, and tell me if I'm wrong, Alan, and this is me just not having a lot of film knowledge in my head, but like I thought of him as a better version of Alonzo from Training Day. Does it make?
I felt like he was going for. It clearly is going for a version of that. I wouldn't necessarily say better, but I would say that they're clearly going for this kind of situation where it's like, hey, veteran soldier takes on a new guy, because the basically plot of afterwards when the dude blows up the people, he basically kind of gets like sent to detention. Where it's like, hey, you're gonna go to basic training because you're gonna know what it feels like to be a soldier on the ground, to get some sense. Basically, think of it like harassment training or whatever the fuck, sensitivity training. He meets up with Anthony Mackie's character, who's kind of this like nobody really wants to deal with him because he's this kind of weirdo. And then sends him on this adventure where it's like, hey, you're going to be on the ground. It's going to be like, hey, it's a very Training Day-esque. I actually didn't even think about it until you mentioned it right now. This is very similar to Training Day.
Yeah,
hey, we're going to go on this
he's
mission.
fucking with him about his wife or his girlfriend, but like it's very reminiscent of Alonzo fucking with Ethan Hawke's character. Like, hey, man, like your wife, are you not having boys? No, I have a little girl. Oh, well, I can hook her up, man. You know, just give me her number. I'll give you a couple boys. And he's like, hey, fuck you, don't talk about my girl like that, dog. Like, you know what I mean? It was kind of like fucked up. And over here, he's kind of looking at the girl like, hey man, like she's probably over there like, you know, licking some pussy or doing this or whatever, like, you know, does that bother you, you know, that she's blah blah blah. And it was funny because it's like, oh, it's kind of, you know, it's a nice moment, they're both laughing, blah blah blah, but then it's like it kind of brings you reality, like, yeah, does that bother you? It shouldn't. You're in a fucking war, dude. Get your head on straight.
You need your head in the game. But as far as like not like Anthony Mackie, Netflix has been good to this dude because he's been in like so many Netflix movies and shows where it's like, yeah, the Black Mirror episode wasn't good, but I think he still acted well. But Altered Carbon, oh my god, I fucking love that show. That second season is fantastic, and that was to me like my favorite Anthony Mackie project. This is up there too because again, it has him breaking away from being the kind of like, oh, I'm just gonna be the jokey kind of guy where it's like you see him being an asshole, you see him being like this kind of person you don't really want to be around. Holy shit, this movie's just like Training Day. My fucking god.
Yeah, really
you just broke me because I'm just thinking of this. This is so many Training Day fucking elements, but in a good way where it's like, yeah, you see a lot of this that's going on. You see a lot of this character where he's able to kind of be like, you don't expect a lot of stuff that's going to end up happening. And honestly, the best parts which I didn't expect, this movie's actions are phenomenal. Like it takes a while to get there, but the fight scenes are fucking amazing. Because I expected this like, oh, it's a military movie. It's gonna be the same fucking boring ass pew 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 with a rifle. A guy goes, oh no, bullets, pew 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 for 5 fucking minutes. And they do that, to be fair. But then they have actual choreography that they're fighting, where Anthony Mackie's jumping off walls and shit. And this shot where he's sliding down a roof and shooting people. I'm like, this is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
They put so much effort into making these fight scenes really good.
And the fact that he's somewhat like Cyborg, it makes sense why he's able to do the Steven Seagal-isms of like breaking your arm, turning around, shooting behind you, then blah, 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 and then doing a flip. It's like, well, these are all explained. I don't have to go like, some stupid action movie shit. Because our other main character, this guy, Lieutenant Harp, he fucking sucks at fighting. You know, and granted,
he barely fired the shot the whole movie, and I loved it because I'm like, I expected like, oh, okay, now it's gonna be the point where he goes into war and suddenly he's like this badass. No, he can't even hold his gun properly. Accidentally fires a shot at one point, fucks up like half the mission. He is again what you expect, somebody that's never been. He's always behind the scenes, but he has enough basic training. It's like, yes, he knows how to hold a gun, he knows how to enter a room. But he's never been in a live fire situation or even fired his gun, except for the accidental times. So you get to see it's like, okay, that makes sense. He's not just some action star. He is a person where it's like, holy shit, this guy could die at any moment.
Yeah, man. But moving on from this, I mean, I will say that there is a villain. There's actually probably a couple of villains, but they don't really get a lot of screen time. And I think that's kind of cool because this movie, it stops being an action movie and starts being one of those emotional, like, character study kind of things or whatever, or like one of those morality stories. And I thought that was cool.
It's a true sci-fi story.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, where it's like, it focuses on like it wants you to think, it wants you to ask questions. And what I like about this movie is it doesn't treat you like you're stupid, but it also doesn't treat you like you're a fucking PhD candidate. Whereas like it's bringing up the stuff, and you don't. I didn't get it a couple times, so I rewinded it. But then I'm like, well, I still don't get it. But then the movie kind of goes into detail with the flashbacks and stuff, where you're like, oh, I'm starting to get it now. I'm starting to understand it. It has a lot of sci-fi stuff, and it gets you thinking right to the end, where it's like there's a lot of stuff where I'm like, I don't know what the main character is going to do, because the main character has a lot of choices to make over the course of this movie. And I'm like, now that you have all this information, what are you going to do?
And the fact that this movie is a random Netflix movie that just came out of nowhere, you don't know if it's going to end good, you don't know if it's going to end bad, you don't know if it's going to end up in a set piece, you don't know where it's going. And I got to tell you, like, the universe is built enough where you have enough questions, but you don't need answers. And that's my favorite type of movie, where it's like, I don't need a world explained, but I do know that there's a world that exists in this, and if they ever want to go back to it or expand it or whatever, they can. And it feels fleshed out, not flushed out.
Definitely fleshed out, because there's times where they're like, yeah, and then this like nuclear bomb went off, and I'm like, I don't remember that. It's like, no. They basically like, this world feels like this world's already been going on. Like, this is an episode of a television show, and it's like, yeah, we already heard that story, so I'm gonna give you a brief explanation in case you forgot that stuff, like recapping. And it's like they show a lot of footage, they give you enough information. And in some cases, honestly, you almost don't need to know the information, but it's enough to show that's like this world is really lived in. I don't know if this is based on anything, because it feels like it's based on, I thought it was based on a comic, only because of how intelligent the characters were and how much backstory they put in, how much effort they put into the world. I'm like, oh, this is based off a novel, right? So that they pulled from, but I can't find it for the life of me.
Yeah, but for me, man, just to go, I guess wrap it up in a sense, because we've been doing a stream for a while now, but I will say this is something I strongly recommend you fucking watch. This is actually really easy to watch, paced very, very well, not too long of a movie, lots of action, but lots of story. The only thing I will say about this is, for me to say, hey, they're doing this because, the Falcon's coming out, I am telling the truth there. They call this guy Cap 1,000 fucking times.
yeah.
Like, I mean, like, what the fuck, dude?
I'm like, that's a wink and a nod. But it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, like, that's probably why they did it, but it doesn't take away from it too much.
For me, because I'm just so mad at Marvel, and I just got done watching WandaVision right before this, so I was like, I don't want to hear no Marvel shit. And they're like, Cap. It's like, oh, you motherfucker. But that was one thing that bothered me. And then one other thing that kind of bothered me too is the fact that like I think there could have been more robot shit. I love mechs. I love robot stuff, but like there's enough in here. But there's lots of really good guy-on-guy action.
Holy shit! Hand-to-hand combat. Yeah,
there you go.
Just fuck at one point.
I fucked that up. Hand-to-hand combat. There's lots of good hand-to-hand combat. The thing is, though, is like, even though those action scenes are fucking amazing, I just think that like, the robots are there. You can do a lot of shit with the robots. Just do that, But they didn't, and that's fine. It's all good. Fucking Roxy, nothing better than this. Just guys being bros. But fuck you, Alan. Oh shit, yeah. And Gene says he says I can do this all day. I guess that is something from Winter Soldier, I believe, right?
The first, yeah. That's kind of Captain America's tagline.
Oh, okay, yeah, shit. But dude, for me, 4 out of 5. This is definitely better than average, but it's far from perfect. But it doesn't need to be. It really doesn't. I hate wanting movies to be perfect. This is like one of those easy snackable movies. But what do you think, Alan? What would you rate this?
Oh, this movie was fantastic. I expected, I have a low opinion of Marvel movies, yes, but I have a low opinion of Netflix movies, where I feel like Netflix movies just don't really try, especially their fucking military action movies, like Triple Frontier was terrible. So I just was like, because they said, hey, watch this. I'm like, it's Anthony Mackie. I like this guy. I want him to do everything and be successful, so I'll watch it. But I'm like, oh, it's gonna be a military movie. It's gonna be trash. Let's be like Jack Ryan and James Bond. But it was actually intelligent. It had me thinking. It wanted me rewatching it. It focused a lot on a lot of interesting stuff, and it does what I always want. If you're gonna do something, have this world breathe. This world feels lived in. Everything I found, it feels amazing. Anthony Mackie continues to prove like he has a lot of range, and I want to see more stuff. So this makes me more excited for more of his projects. And Netflix does it well. At this point, anything he's in Netflix related, I'm in. Like he's earned my money. And it's weird because like I'm gonna give it a slightly lower rating than you, not because I don't like it, but it's just to me 3 out of 5 is the perfect thing. Like 7 out of 10 is the perfect thing. It's above average, but to me I wanted more, but I just wanted more action because I love action. But it's something that I always say about action movies is you don't have to have a lot of action, but if all your action is amazing, I'm gonna give you a round of applause. So when I'm seeing this dude jump off like railings, doing action shots, that if someone told me, hey, create an action scene, I'd be like, oh, how cool would it be if people are like shooting from the stairway? And then I saw that in this movie. I'm like, that's what I would do. That's so fucking cool. Yeah. So all that kind of interesting stuff to me like gives it a really good rating. I would honestly want to watch this movie again with people just so we can see if we could pick out little things. But yeah, definitely, like, this is a high recommendation. 3 out of 5. Action scenes are fucking spectacular. I just wish there was more. It's like, I want more of this shit.
Yeah, and that's the best thing I could say for anything is, like, when you're left wanting more, that's fucking, like, the biggest compliment you give something. Sometimes. But, yeah, dude, well, that's pretty much our review for that fucking movie and pretty much everything else we talked about today. We're going to go into the after hours and hang out with you guys and shoot that shit. But you guys, there's lots of other things you can watch that's not only chat tech related, but also starting around my boys over here, Alan and Ganja. So you guys can choose amongst each other who's going to be telling people where to find y'all.
Alrighty, I'll start off. Alrighty, Bill, I'll start off. So basically, we literally just recorded an episode today. So follow us on Facebook. At one point, I really got to do something to have my fucking thing in the background so you guys can actually tell where the fuck to find me. But yeah, you'll find notifications for the Metropolis. We literally just did an episode today, so that one will be coming up in the next couple of days. We're just talking about the normal shit that's been happening in this last week's impeachment, stuff like that. Be sure to follow us on Facebook. That's where you're going to get all the information. So drop a like there so you get the notifications.
Oh, yes. With that said, guys, you guys can hear the music. So with that said, it was fun. It was a long show, but it was fun as fuck. Hopefully the ads didn't piss you guys off if you actually been getting them. Moobot is annoying. I'll figure that shit out by tomorrow. See you guys. Goodbye. Stay toasty.
Tap the chat.
And tap the chat. Go to our Facebook. We'll put the fucking Discord link there. I'm not rating anybody. I'm sorry if I ignore you. But I can't rate anybody. Something will go wrong. I don't know why. All right. Goodbye, everybody.